Ninja Brian. I invited a large number of girls over here for an orgy tonight, but I have to say the responses thus far haven't been exactly what I'd hoped for. Stacy had a headache, Jenny was in jail. Brenda had to work late, Kate was getting Jenny's bail. Angela got scurvy, Ashley caught a cold. Sally's dad exploded, that's what I was told. Michelle had to play checkers, Dan was baking pies. Wendy's dad exploded too, that might have been a lie. Pam had frisbee lessons, Stella had ballet. Now I'm by myself, but I can have one anyway. So dim the lights, remove my tights. Yeah, nobody's sure, but I'm gonna have some fun. Let's get this party started, it's an orgy for one. It's me and my hand, and it's hotter than the sun. So break up the tissues, it's an orgy for one. I'm working out my issues in an orgy for one. Margaret's cat was nauseous, Jane was way too shy. Steve was not invited because he was a guy. Claire was parasailing, Brooke said she was in space. But it doesn't matter cause I'm rounding second base. All through nights, my grass is tight. Oh, beating so hard you'd think I was a drum. And I don't even care, it's an orgy for one. I'm here all alone and I'm tugging on my thumbs. It's not just masturbation, it's an orgy for one. It's a fucking celebration, it's an orgy for one. Orgy for one. Orgy for one. Six nights without the night. Now pour the wine. I'm mine, oh mine. I'm batting 1,000 and nailing everyone. Thank you everybody at this orgy for one. These pillows are stacked to look vaguely like a bird. No, I'm going for it, it's an orgy for one. My junk is getting sore and it's an orgy for one. You know that I'll be scoring at the orgy for
Why, hello there. You're a very attractive young lady.
I'd like to ask you out on the hottest of dates.
I see that you have a lot of other gentlemen suitors. Allow me to make my case.
This guy plays football, but I once won the whole Super Bowl by myself. This guy is a weightlifter, but I can bench an entire continental shelf. That dude is a scientist, but I already cured all diseases last week. And if that's not enough, let me ask, when was the last time one of these things killed a motherfucking mythical beast? Oh yeah, I will rock your world, 'cause I'm a dragon slayer girl. I shall
chosen the football player. And the scientist. And apparently the weightlifter as well. And the dragon. And Ninja Brian. And the Manticore, he wasn't even in this song.
Well, hey there, everybody.
Motherfuckers, I got research!
Kayla did research.
I got research!
Kayla
I
did
got photos! I only did it for one thing in this multi-hour stream, so I might need some suggestions on what to talk about next. But I did one thing.
We're very proud of you, Kayla.
You goddamn better will be.
Please drop the Kayla emote in chat, everyone. let Kayla know that you are proud of her.
Quit patting my back.
I was saying that I was proud.
16-bit voices. Oh no.
The fuck?
The fuck? Why? What's happening?
I have no idea. Hang on.
Bird, what did you do? You fucked everything up.
Probably. I do break everything. Hold on. Let me try something.
Hold on.
I don't know. I probably broke everything. That's
God
usually
damn
my
it,
MO.
Bird.
Well, we should be transmitting now. How does it says it's still 16-bit? I don't know why it was 16-bit.
I don't know either.
This is gonna be the stream of technical issues. Fixed? Great. I unplugged it and plugged it back up, and that fixed it. Because that's usually how this shit goes.
I would probably have the podcast screen just as a backup, just in case anything else.
I always have the chat screen prepared.
I was about to say we might need it.
Well, you know, I always keep that, so we'll be fine. Everything is fine. I need everyone to just relax.
I did research and got photos for this goddamn stream.
To just relax. Had a weird grainy quality to the voice. Huh, that's weird.
Bird, why do you fuck everything up?
Oh, I see what happened. My voice meter program got all weird. Hang on. It's what happens whenever you got a extra. This is what happens when you try to get
First
special.
Nord, then this shit.
You know, you're a little too freaky for my taste. You know, you need. To just
I'm on
calm
new
down.
medication.
You need to just take a deep breath and just chill.
I can't.
You should try.
I literally can't.
That's true. That is kind of the whole point of the
I was
medicine.
about to say, I'm literally on medication because I physically cannot.
Because you so far can't even that you've literally lost your ability to even?
Yes.
Ha 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 ha! I joke, but really it is actually causing her a lot of problems.
I'm deeply troubled and I need to fill out new paperwork for my job. Anyway.
But we're gonna take all our minds off that. We're gonna take our minds off all that serious shit by, slaughtering people and also,
hearing about other people being slaughtered.
Exactly, yeah. Fun times.
Woo!
We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna
Also, hello cutie cup, my sweet, sweet little child.
Okay, let's be weird, why don't we? Alright.
I am literally on new medication.
It's fine.
I'm getting off medication I've been on for 8 years.
Yeah. But the good news is you're almost completely weaned off of the Zoloft, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure my new OCD and BPD medication is working now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, new medication is so much fun. I have just been so weird the past couple of weeks.
More so than usual.
Yeah, but this house is fucking clean.
It is, I will say that. So, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna try to remember all the controls, and meanwhile, Kayla is gonna share another. She's gonna take another look at the chapter of the heavy book
We call
history. Specifically, history of horrific events that take place.
Woohoo!
It's gonna be great.
Okay, I think it was Angel that recommended this one in the last stream.
Before you get any farther, how are the volume levels? Everything sound good?
Oh yeah.
Can you hear Kayla okay?
Can you hear my ranting that I am going to be commencing with?
I want to make sure that everything's easy to hear so that we can just kind of jump right on into this and Kayla can do her thing. Sounds fine? Alright.
Okay, so first story, the only researched one so far, that woman phased out of existence.
It's the power of my motorcycle. Was that our first story? Is the woman phasing out of existence through the power of my motorcycle?
I mean, it's reminiscent of Eliza Lamb, so I mean, you know, could be a story.
What's that in your hand? A toy?
The fuck?
Shinobu. That's gonna be our next,
Oh yeah, there's a story here.
Yeah, remember when there was a story to all this?
No, I remember talking about natural disasters and engineering disasters.
Well, anyway.
Anyway, 1992 Guadalajara explosions. Woohoo!
Yay, fun times!
Okay. So, in April of 1992, specifically April 18th to April 22nd, in Guadalajara, Mexico, there was a strange smell in the air that residents began to notice.
Mm-hmm.
It would induce headaches and nausea and just... it would sting their eyes and their throats with the strength of it.
Sounds, interesting.
The residents also reported just a strong general stench of gasoline and plumes of white smoke coming from the sewers in the city of Guadalajara.
That sounds pretty horrible. So what happened? Did you, like, go down there and fart or something?
You know, if you're gonna be like this, I'm gonna leave.
No, you're not. You're having too much fun.
I am.
There is no way you are gonna leave this. We both know it. Exactly. Anyway, continue.
Anyway.
So, terrible smell.
Okay. So, on April 20th, workers of the city council and the civil protection of the city, they did a 2-day investigation on Gante Street, where the biggest complaints were coming from. They did find high levels of gasoline and other hydrocarbons, but they felt we don't need to evacuate the area. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, why would you need to evacuate an area that's showing, like, really weirdly high levels of gasoline and, you know, flammable shit?
Yeah.
I'm sure that doesn't need to be evacuated at all. I'm sure it's fine.
At 10 a.m. on April 22nd, manhole covers in the streets of Guadalajara began to bounce, and columns of white smoke were coming very thickly from them as they moved.
Not coming very thickly like the way that I did this morning, like coming in a bad way.
Yes.
Sorry. I had to do it.
I need to remake the Bird bingo card, by the way, to include Bird unnecessarily talks about her sex life and Winona Earp reference. At 10:05 a.m.
I feel like the Winona Earp thing could just be in free space.
It is the free space.
Fair enough. Alright, anyway.
At 10:05 a.m. on April 22nd, the first 2 explosions were recorded. The first was on the corner of Calzada Independencia and Aldama Street, while the second was at the intersection of Gante and 20 de Noviembre. And a minute later, the first call was received on the emergency line, which was then forwarded to an automatic voice messenger.
Bring it on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So people were calling for emergency services and immediately got forwarded to voicemail.
Oh shit, how bad is it whenever that's what's going on?
And these were just the first 2 explosions.
Wow. How horrifying, how terrifying would that actually have to be? Let's, like, really think about that for a minute. How terrifying would that have to be for you to call emergency services? Their whole purpose for being there is to keep your dumbass alive. And
You got ghosted
and
to voicemail.
you go to voicemail. I would probably actually shit myself.
Well, speaking of shit,
Oh wow.
the third explosion was at 10:08 a.m. which resulted in a bus being projected through the air on the corner of Gante and Nicolas Bravo. So, that gives you a scope of how big these explosions were. It literally launched a fucking bus into the air.
That is a pretty good idea of just how bad this was.
At 10:15 a.m., another explosion was registered at Gonzales Calo Avenue. And this was when factory workers along the avenue began to evacuate just before rescue teams and volunteers finally began to arrive. Now, this is 15 minutes after explosions have started, and we've had 4 of them so far.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like the standard response time for our little town, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, this is Guadalajara. It's more of a city than where we are.
Yeah, you know, just saying, I am kind of sitting here like, are y'all not used to 15-minute response times? Most times where I live, when we call the cops about an intruder, it's not because, oh, come and save us, it's because, yeah, they're dead, so, you know, can someone come along and take care of this, please?
Well, don't you think there would be more of an immediate response considering its explosions felt throughout an entire fucking city?
Explosions are good for you. It's good for a city. Builds character and all that jazz. Ah, wrong button. I'm an idiot.
you got?
Oh, my God!
This is how Bird flirts.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway. At 10:23 a.m., the 5th explosion occurred at the intersection of Gante and Calzada del Erecito. At 10:29 a.m., evacuations finally began in the Mexicanzingo Avenue neighborhood. This happened at 10:29, 2 minutes before the 6th explosion was recorded at the intersection of 5 de Febrero and Rio Bravo.
So we're probably not getting an A on response time, is what we're saying.
31 minutes has passed since the first explosion, and we're at number 6.
Yeah, so yeah, probably not getting, probably not passing the response time test.
I didn't know if this was gonna be important, so I'm just gonna leave it.
Dude, isn't that gonna, like, put out your weapon, though?
Gonna put out your weapon?
Oh, dear.
It looks like a guy who's got shit.
I do, yeah, like, excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Well, okay then. At 10:43 a.m., the 7th explosion occurred at the corner of Ghent Street and Silverio Garcia.
Uh-huh.
Just after more rescue teams arrived at the already affected areas, the 6 other places where shit was going boom, the 8th explosion occurred at 11:02 at the Oh, should I leave it? Give me a second.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and continue. I think it's just me turning off the sprinklers.
At the intersection of Rio Nilo Avenue and the Rio Grande.
Okay.
So after this explosion, after 8 explosions, they were finally evacuating neighborhoods of Atlas, Alamo Industrial, El Rosario, Quinta Valereta, and, Presionamiento, Revolucion, and the center of the municipality of Telecapaque.
Okay.
Again, 8 explosions, a little over an hour, and they're only just now, like, evacuating these places.
Which probably should have happened a while ago.
Yeah.
Like, even before the explosions, really.
Yeah, it's almost like if you smell gas enough that residents are complaining about it in droves, you should probably evacuate and take a fucking look at it.
Nah. It's fine. A little bit of gas is good for your lungs. Builds character. It builds character. Explosions build character. Slow police response times build character. Gas builds character.
And that's why we have gangs.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so the final 2 explosions were at 11:16 a.m., One was at the intersection of Rio Alamos and Rio Pecos, and the other was at Gonzales Calo and Rio Suquiante. Again, I'm very sorry if an accent comes out whenever I'm pronouncing these names. I'm really just trying to pronounce them correctly.
We can't promise that we'll do it right, but we'll promise to try.
I think it's because I watched too much King of the Hill as a child.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a total of about 10 explosions between a 1 hour and 15-minute period.
Good God.
Yeah. So in the afternoon of that
Feels like at a certain point it feels like at a certain point maybe the rescue teams really aren't necessary. It's like, you know what? Well, y'all just go home.
We're fine.
We'll count this as a wash.
So the afternoon of the same day, the fear of further tragedies made people across the Guadalajara metro area just pick up any manhole cover that they saw to allow any remaining gases they feared were there to escape.
I mean, that's more than what's been happening before now. It's more than the authorities did, so...
These were civilians doing this.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, that's more than any of the cops are doing, so yeah.
Yeah. So, residents of neighborhoods were basically... They were told to be aware of any unusual events in the surrounding areas. It's
like we are all inhaling gas fumes. We don't know what the fuck. For all I know, a goddamn pink unicorn could dance across the street any minute.
Okay, so all this occurred on April 22nd. After the explosions, a couple days later, on April 25th, there was a great panic among some residents of 5 de Mayo, El Din, Echeverria, and Polanco, because there was, again, the strong smell of gas.
Yeah. So understandably, they're a little bit freaked out.
Yeah, firefighters were actually able to provide help and just advise people to avoid lighting any flames.
Okay.
And this was later confirmed to be a leak of a Pemex pipeline.
Okay.
So they were able to avoid the exact same thing happening 3 days later.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah.
Oh no. You're about to do your Billy Mays thing, aren't you?
Well, first, so in the bird Discord, we have our little chat section, and in that, I am going to include a photo of just one photo of the destruction that happened based on these explosions.
Exclamation mark Discord for the Discord link, everybody.
In this photo, a road is gone, and there are just cars sinking and having fallen into the ground like seeds being planted.
Car seeds.
Car seeds!
Grow your own car.
Woo!
If you want the good interior, you really got to take care of the seeds, though. like you know, cover them up whenever it gets chilly out to keep them from frosting, all that shit.
Well, I mean, these were fucking covered.
Used coffee grounds on your car seats are known to produce the finest upholstery.
Bless me.
Used coffee grounds actually are really great for your roses, by the way. FYI.
So after this series of explosions in about a 1 hour time frame,
unfortunate events.
yes, also that, an investigation was launched to find out the fuck happened.
Yeah, WTF.
Hey, Travis. Your next ranked fight begins the moment you step into that room. Win, and you'll rise to ace in rank. Lose, and an even deeper circle of hell awaits. Wipe away your tears, hit the can, pick the total of your teeth.
Alright, where is the camera? Where is the camera, lady?
Survive this fight. But hey, there's only one way to find out, right? Give it your best shot. I am 100% certain you're returning from this battle, Travis, in a body bag. But trust your force and head for the Garden of Madness.
I think this lady doesn't have our best interests in mind.
Dude, what gave you that idea?
I don't know. I just get a feeling off some people. So they launched an investigation.
Okay, so they did find out what happened, and it came from two causes, basically.
Okay.
So, one factor was that the city had put in new water pipes made of zinc-coated iron,
Okay.
and they were built too close to an existing steel gasoline pipeline. Because of underground humidity, these materials had an electrolytic reaction, basically what happens inside a battery when it's given power.
Mm-hmm.
This reaction eventually caused the steel pipe to start corroding, creating a hole.
It's why they don't make batteries out of steel.
This created a hole in the pipeline that permitted gasoline to leak into the ground and also into the main sewer pipe.
Oh dear.
The other cause listed is that a sewer pipe had recently been rebuilt into a U shape so that the city could expand its metro system.
Mm-hmm.
And normally this would be okay because sewers built into a U shape usually have a siphon placed in so that fluids can be pushed against gravity to make them flow properly.
Yeah, we're about to
rankings
gonna meet
fight?
the our new villain.
Yeah, how about it?
All right. Will you give me a minute? Wait for me in the hallway.
Right.
At least she's just like, yeah, sure. Did she just kill all those girls?
Probably. She's got other business besides us.
Mind if we do this somewhere else?
Oh yeah, she totally
You're the
just murdered
boss.
all those girls.
Yep.
Stop checking me out like that.
You killed them?
Such a gentleman. Are you asking out of tactical curiosity?
No general
Or Are
curiosity.
you just fucking with me?
Just more curiosity
They
than
didn't
anything
offer
else.
much resistance.
You got a problem with that? You got no idea how hard it is to hide your true self around here.
Well, it is
Hey,
a
I'm
school.
not accusing anybody.
A real gentleman. I just turned my back, but you didn't strike. You are fucking with me.
It's actually pretty hard to take cheap shots when your enemy is as bloodthirsty as yourself.
People like us think alike.
Also, he hasn't quite grasped the whole
Shall we?
assassin thing. The fact that part of being an assassin means you are going to kill people who are not giving you any resistance.
You will pay with your life. At last I have my chance. I will now avenge my father.
Something
Beg your
tells me
pardon?
you watch
Huh?
Too many samurai movies, little girl.
Sonic sword.
Holy! What the hell was that?
The ranged attack is what that was.
Give me a
Okay, so
hand.
corrosive battery steel pipe.
Okay. And again, they had built a new sewer pipe into a U shape, which, again, this would normally be fine if you put a siphon in there to help with the gravity of pushing the fluids where they need to go.
Fuck with me.
This design was flawed in this case, however, because while liquids were successfully pushed through, gases were not. And the gas fumes just built up and built up and built up.
Right?
So these gas fumes in this sewer pipe, plus all the gasoline already leaking into it, big boom.
Big boom.
Multiple big booms.
Massive boom.
See, this is why sewer lines are usually built in a slope, because gravity works better
Down.
naturally.
Yeah, gravity works better when you aim down.
Yeah.
Fuck with me.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the aftermath.
Everyone's dead. The end.
At least over 200 people did die.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Over
Oh
two-
wait, there's more.
Over 200 people did die, and most of them were children!
Oh goody!
Because, again, this was in April 22nd, which is an Easter weekend, when most kids are going to be home.
That is true.
So a whole bunch of the fatalities were children.
Come on, Jesus, this is like your day of resurrection. Spread the love a little.
So yeah. Holy
Wow,
shit
dude,
balls.
thanks for sticking around. Raging username, thank you very much for gifting those 10 gift subs. That is seriously amazing of you. Thank you so much.
Woo!
I would like some heals, please.
Raging, if you want, you
Oh,
can
wow,
pick
dude,
the
thanks
next
for sticking
subject that I
around.
talk about.
Yeah. Alright, so we got explosion, corrosive battery pipes, and lots of dead kids. Oh wow, dude, thanks
So
for sticking
yeah, over
around.
200 people were dead, over 500 people had non-fatal injuries, but they were still pretty fucked up. And thousands of people lost their homes.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean,
Dude,
if
thanks for sticking around.
if one explosion was powerful enough to send a bus into the air, plenty of people were fucked up.
I think speaking of fucked up, pretty sure I just killed a child. Oh wow, dude, thanks for sticking around.
You could call me a sewer explosion.
What are you waiting for? Finish me!
Okay.
Finish you.
Don't look at me like that! Don't!
Oh wow,
I
dude,
think
thanks
there's
for
been
sticking
some kind
around.
of misunderstanding.
I'm just here to
I
cut your
never
arm off.
fought your father.
Liar! You killed him! Sliced him in two! You sick bastard!
I probably
wow,
did.
dude,
Thanks for
whoa,
sticking
whoa.
around.
Calm down a little.
You're getting too close to a child.
Yeah, hey, take it easy. All I did was
thank
like,
you.
Was my
all I did
mentor.
was like
I'd never kill him.
slice your arm off.
It was a hand.
Captain, we've got a live one.
I watched Master Jacob's teachings on video over and over till the fucking tape wore out. We've never met in person.
Kill me. I lost.
Captain, we've got a live one.
Do it!
How about kill yourself after you kill me? Sounds like a bit straight out of a samurai movie, don't it?
Shut up and kill me already! You've already
Captain,
dishonored me
we've
enough.
got a live one.
Do it yourself.
Wow, that's kind of
Please.
brutal.
I'm asking a
I'll
child to
fight
kill
you
themselves.
Anytime, anywhere. Until then, I'll be waiting.
God, I'm gonna watch the fuck
Okay, well,
out of Kill Bill after
Yes,
this.
okay, well, I guess she's gonna bleed out because, you know. Although she shouldn't be bleeding because it's like a lightsaber, so that should have, like, cauterized the wound.
Yeah, it should.
But she was bleeding.
Yeah. Well, it is a discount lightsaber.
Eh. Only, like, half cauterized.
Yeah.
Hi, Billy Mays here with a special TV offer. Let me, let's talk to this lady and then we will continue with, Although I would argue that, technically, more than just the 200 and something people in the initial explosion died, because losing your home does cause you to, like, people die from that.
Oh yeah. Just wait.
Oh, boy. Alright, let's...
Another victory, Travis. You are now ranked 8th.
Even though you didn't kill her, so, you know, technically...
Probably not. She's still young. But I still have to follow the association's rules of conduct.
Then let her live.
Are we suddenly in love, Travis?
She
No,
is
he's
a child!
He's a fucking child!
The risk of her coming back for revenge. In this business, there's no such thing as mercy.
Kill when you can kill. That's bullshit. All I want to do is fight someone better than me.
Okay, Goku.
She'll grow up. Why not kill her when she's stronger? Yeah, then I'll kill her.
You are sick.
Also, hi, Goodwin.
I get one.
Okay, so over 200 dead, at least a bunch of them children. 500 non-lethally injured, thousands of homes lost. So, of course, in the aftermath, city officials and corporations were just pointing the finger at one another,
Right.
trying to put the blame on somebody for this shit happening. And so, basically, numerous arrests were made for people that were perceived to be responsible. For Pemex officials, Pemex is the pipeline that had the gasoline and everything.
Okay.
They were indicted and charged on the basis of negligence, but everyone was cleared of charges. No one has been arrested or formally charged for this.
Just calling to let you know that one of the videos we found yesterday wasn't one of ours. It doesn't have a label on it, but it seems to be a recording of a guy humping a pillow. The video you should have returned was, how to please a woman in... Please return to us soon. Thank you.
I love how, like, this game makes you feel like such a badass, and then it's like, let me just make fun of, all weeps.
Yeah.
Is now complete. In addition, we have faxed you some
I'm taking my body pillow and going home.
If you wish to continue your ascent, please transfer the money
Fair enough.
into the designated account. Have a nice day.
Alright, how much do I gotta get this time?
So, no one was charged for this bullshit.
Naturally.
No one was really held responsible for any of this.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay. However, many of the survivors that, you know...
Mm-hmm. Everybody look at the
Shush!
pretty kitty. Okay, so no one was charged for this bullshit.
Okay, sorry. A whole bunch of survivors that were affected by the explosion formed La Asociación 22 de Abril en Guadalajara, or the Association of April 22nd of Guadalajara.
Mm-hmm.
This campaign was started by Lilia Ruiz Chavez, who was a survivor of the explosion, who lost her leg as well as her home.
You think, like, you know, one is a fair trade for the other one, but nope, can't even have either.
Yeah. She started the group, which has a total of about 80 members, not just because all of this shit could have been prevented, but because no one ever received any compensation or assistance from the bullshit that they had to deal with, including, like, lost limbs, lost family, lost homes.
Yeah, even the survivors of the Costa Concordia got at least a token amount.
Yeah, I mean, they got the bare minimum, but they got something.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, they acknowledge, like, yeah, no amount of money's gotta bring back our family, but we have medical bills and shit.
How's business?
And also, we need homes.
Yeah. Homes are kind of a thing required.
Yeah, like, a whole bunch of them were completely unable to afford the medication they now needed because they were wounded by this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted something. Chavez and the other survivors were fighting for 24 years
Good
for justice to be served. So, because of the constant struggle and a whole bunch of pressure from the victims, again, over a course of like 25 years, Pemex, the company originally blamed for the incident, they finally agreed to pay out 40 million pesos to the group of 80 people, but they claim it was a donation, and in no way does it mean they are taking blame for the incident.
Oh, of course. Naturally.
So, that is the broad strokes of the saga in 1992, Guadalajara, Mexico, when sewer explosions fucked up too many people, killed a whole bunch of kids, and no one was really held responsible.
Yay!
Woo!
Good lord.
Yeah.
So what have we learned, everyone, from this saga?
It's you.
Corporations are bullshit. That's pretty much what we've learned.
And you can pay off your victims as long as you say it's a donation.
Mm-hmm. Because then, you're not taking
Huh, that's
any
weird.
blame.
Suddenly I
Big Boy
feel like
Sensei,
I'm
thank you very
being
much for the follow.
Woo!
For those of you who are just joining, my name is Bird is the Word, and this is my sister Kayla.
Hi!
We do What the Fuck Sundays. We play weird games, and right now it's sort of become also a bit of a podcast because there are grindy bits in this game. So to kind of, you know, get something, have some dialogue going in the midst of that, Kayla is recounting tales of various engineering disasters to us.
Because I listen to way too many podcasts and I'm way too fixated by disasters.
Pretty much.
Last Sunday, I was here for you talking about sex for 3 hours.
Yeah, we just kind of, Sundays are kind of podcast day.
Yeah.
The game is really just an excuse on Sundays. It's just kind of like something to have on the screen. We mainly just talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Alright, so now what? What would you like to share with us next?
The Ashtabula Horror!
The what?
It's a train disaster that happened in 1876.
Okay, so here's the thing. So part of the reason why I like the tale of the Costa Concordia is, because it's a cruise ship, and cruise ships are just inherently fascist in the way that they run. And that's not a joke. They actually, literally the way that they run is actually pretty reminiscent of how fascism runs. So, but the thing, I'm stuck on this pole. I am stuck on the pole. I am stuck. There we go.
The pole is fascist.
I guess so. The pole is a fascist. So, but the thing about it is, then I can always be like, see, this is why we need to go back, because before cruises, we had, a lot more trains and stuff, and I'm like, see, this is why, reason number 568, why train good. Train good, because train less chance of drown.
Not in this instance.
Oh, great. You're gonna make me hate trains too. Basically, I'm just gonna become, I always thought that after COVID was over, I was gonna get to not be a recluse anymore. You're gonna make me, terrified to take any form of public transportation by the time this is all over.
Well, after this, I could talk about the train in Germany that basically did multi-track drifting and folded in on itself like an accordion.
Yeah, sure, sounds great, why not?
So, the Ashtabula Horror.
Mm-hmm.
It happened in Ashtabula, Ohio, on December 29th, 1876.
Mm-hmm.
So what had happened was...
Oh, God.
Don't worry, this doesn't have a lot to do with train. It mainly has to do a lot with bridge collapse.
People, I swear to God, I think people think that bridges are so much more delicate than they actually are because of, pop culture and also all the amplification we give to bridge disasters. And I just want to say for the record, bridges are usually incredibly stable. They are genuine, just works of engineering masterpieces.
I can also tell you about the bridge in Quebec, Canada that had to be rebuilt 3 times because it kept collapsing in on itself.
Alright, just totally fuck up all of my points. Anyway, tell me about this fucking horror thing. Tell me about the whores. Tell me about the whores, George. Tell me about the whores.
I know. You want that, right?
Okay, Kill Bill. Alright. So, in 1863, a railroad company decided to replace a wooden bridge over the Ashtabula River in Ohio. They decided, hey, this is a wood bridge. We're gonna make it out of iron instead.
That's not a good idea. Usually the material is that way for a reason. The engineering and the design is meant to work with that material.
Yeah.
Changing the material actually does not do what you think it does.
Yeah. Anyway, this bridge is about 154 feet long, and it's over 76 feet above the river. That's 23 meters above water that can easily kill you.
Right.
So you gotta trust that the bridge needs to be fucking sturdy about it.
You're gonna want you're gonna want a stable bridge in that situation, I agree.
Yeah. They didn't... So, Amasa Stone, he was the bridge designer.
Mm-hmm.
He was, by his own admission, very experimental with his designs.
Oh dear sweet. Okay, look, experimenting is fine with, designs. It's not necessarily something you want in an engineering situation.
But wait, it gets worse. He had only constructed one all-iron bridge before this. It was 5 feet high and 30 feet long. Huge difference from, being, let me get that number again, 76 feet high and over 150 feet long.
That does feel like a little bit of a of a difference, I will say.
Yep. So they did bring in a well-known bridge builder and designer, Joseph Tomlinson III, to flesh out Stone's design and create the fabrication.
Okay.
I wait.
Stone kind of ignored him
Oh, goody.
and was like, fuck it.
That's always great.
Fuck it, my idea, best idea.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Once again, people are dying for someone's artistic vision.
Oh, wait until you hear about the Quebec Bridge.
Oh, Jesus H. fucking Christ.
And Tomlinson, again, a well-known bridge builder and designer, was really alarmed to hear that Stone wanted the bridge to be completely made of iron, rather than the most logical thing, a combination of wood and iron, i.e. reinforcing the bridge that's already there and has been working just perfectly fine.
Yep. One of the benefits of wood over iron, by the way, y'all, is that wood has a little bit more give to it, so as a result, it's able to absorb certain aspects of... Whenever you design it a certain way, wood is... certain designs work much better with wood because wood is more flexible. Iron is not. It's very, very rigid, which you would think, oh, well, I want something rigid. But that's actually not the case. You ever notice how in a giant windstorm, a very, very firm and steady tree will get snapped in half? Meanwhile, a slender bending branch will just bend and it'll be fine. Yeah, that kind of a similar principle here.
Yeah.
Just because iron is a tougher material does not always mean that it's a better material. It depends on what the design is.
Yeah, see, Tomlinson knew that an all-iron bridge would have a much greater dead load, which basically means it reduces the bridge's live load and ability to carry trains. It's gonna make shit a lot worse. He also concluded that the beams and posts that Stone intended to use were undersized.
Oh, fun.
So, the guy who has been building bridges and is an expert on it is telling you everything's fucked, and the artiste is actively not listening.
Great.
Yep. So, of course, Tomlinson was like, hey, let's not kill a lot of people and, you know, put riveting plates on the I-beams to strengthen them. And Stone said, no, fuck you. Stone demanded that Tomlinson make the changes that Stone wanted. Tomlinson refused, and he was fired from the whole project.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Stone then ordered the railroad company that was basically financing the whole thing. He ordered their chief engineer, Charles Collins, to make the desired changes.
Okay.
Collins refused and was also fired from the project.
Holy shit, what did this designer have on everybody? Like the people who were doing all this firing, did he, like, have pictures of them, I don't know, fucking raping a dead pig or something? Did they pull what was that guy's name? What was that prime minister in Britain?
David Cameron?
Yeah, did they pull a David Cameron and he had evidence or some shit?
Probably. So Stone himself then made the changes to the redesign instead of getting an expert on it.
Yeah, that'll go fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. And he also made additional changes while he was at it.
Yeah, while I'm in here, might as well just change it. I don't really like the cut. I don't like how this looks. I'm just gonna take that out. Just gonna put this in instead. Because, you know, aesthetic.
So let me give you a little bit of an idea of how this bridge works. It's a hoe truss bridge. Which, yes.
In hoes we trust.
Yes.
Except in this case.
Yes. Have fun, Goodwin. But everything was not fine. So, in this kind of bridge, there are vertical posts that connect upper and lower chords to the truss, which is how it's able to hold weight and have a little bit of give to it. The deck that the train goes on, the part that has the tracks and shit on it, it usually hangs from these vertical posts. Again, the greater the live load, the greater the tension, the more weight it can carry.
Okay.
Because the bracing reacts in compression and counteracting the tension.
Okay.
That's how it has so much give. Stone decided to invert the design itself. Yep. So, the upper chord that's supposed to be at the top of the bridge those top cables that you see whenever you see a bridge at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
He put those on the bottom.
That's not how that works! That's not how anything works! What was his plan? Yeah, if gravity decides to invert itself, we're fucking ready, y'all!
So, the tension that's supposed to be carried at the top of the bridge, so it's not shaking the thing driving over it, is now at the bottom of the bridge, providing even more tension.
I mean, as a general rule of thumb, when I go across a bridge, if everything's shaking like I'm in the middle of a like 9.5 Richter scale fucking earthquake, usually that's the time when I'm like, yeah, no.
But wait, there's more.
All right, Billy Mays, what's next?
I know, DJ, like, how the fuck did this guy even get on the job? I genuinely do not know.
I imagine he probably had a lot of money.
That's probably it, because it's like the 1860s.
He's like a rich kid hobbyist, so, you know.
Probably. Again, same thing happened with the Quebec Bridge. So he basically moved all of the thing that carries the tension and steadies all of it to the bottom instead of the top where it's meant to be, because physics.
Mm-hmm.
And because the diagonal braces did not receive extra compression from the live load, that means that the bridge will have a tendency to buckle.
Right.
And move and shift and not be a bridge, basically.
Okay.
Stone's other major change involved the end panels, where it connected to the land. So in a traditional bridge, the Hoe Truss Bridge,
In Hose We Trust.
Bridge, the end panel on each side of the bridge has 3 vertical posts and 3 diagonal braces. Again, this is to give it some weight so that everything ends up balanced enough that any kind of weight can travel across it.
We gotta Thanos this shit! Perfectly balanced in all things. Except, less genocide, please.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So, Stone decided to go for the single hoe design.
Sometimes you need more hose to take the load. That is literally the problem here.
Yes, that is literal. You joke, but that's literally
I know.
it.
That's the thing. It's only slightly a joke.
So only 5 bridges were ever built in 1863 by that point, and these 5. There were a whole bunch of bridges built like this by 1863, but only 5 of them had this 1 vertical post and 2 diagonal braces. Which is what Stone wanted to do.
Okay.
And again,
and usually there's a reason why. There's a reason why certain things are tradition, y'all. I like to buck the system as much as the next person, but usually in engineering, there's a reason why we do it a certain way.
Yeah, because remember, in the original bridge design, it's supposed to be 3 vertical posts and 3 diagonal braces. Again, to give it weight. And he's just going, no, 1 vertical post and 2 diagonal braces. And all the tension holding on the bottom. We're gonna make this thing rock like a hurricane!
Here I am!
No, can't sing. No fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I was having fun. I forgot myself. Please forgive me.
This is why I talk about disasters here, because they can't get on me for this.
Oh, you joke. You joke.
So, the entire structure of the bridge relied on 12 beams and posts, 3 of which were at each end. So, 6 posts were holding the thing attached to the earth that it was connecting, and the other 6 were working with the tension cables on the bottom to try and hold it up.
I'm surprised that it could take a single thing. I'm surprised it could hold, like, a goat, let alone a whole person. Let alone a train. Oh, no. She's like, well.
So let's get to the, the bridge was tested by having 3 locomotives, i.e. 3 trains run over the bridge at, their normal speed. And a second test had 3 engines stand still on the bridge. And they thought deflection was minimal and the bridge wasn't shaky that badly. So it's fine.
Oh god, it's not shaking that bad. That's like sitting in a submarine and being like, it's only kind of leaking.
Yeah.
It's only a little bit of a leak. Nothing too bad. It's stick a rag in there, it'll be fine.
It's the kid who made a diorama for school, and it held up just well enough to stand in front of the class and give his presentation, and then the second he tried to take it back home, it all fell apart.
Oh man, I've been there.
Hello, Travis.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
So, train number 5 of the Lake Shore and Michigan Southern Railway, this was known as the Pacific Express, left Buffalo, New York at 2 p.m. on December 29th, 1876.
Okay.
An hour and 8 minutes behind schedule.
Okay.
And a powerful blizzard was hitting through northern Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York for the past couple of days.
Okay.
Which means over 20 inches of snow have already fallen, and winds between 24 to 54 miles an hour were creating huge fucking snowdrifts on the train tracks.
Snowdrifts are like bad news even for bridges and trains that are built properly.
And this blizzard, it was creating snowdrifts up to 6 feet deep in places.
Holy fuck.
Now, you've seen the cliche in like movies and shit where a train will just plow through a car that's sitting on the track.
Yeah.
That's different from snow sitting on the track, because snow be water. Water be slippy.
Water also make ye rust.
Water make rust. Water make slip. Ice make slip. Trains cannot drift.
We haven't quite... No, well, not until Fast and the Furious Part 48, at least.
Yeah.
We had a few more years to go before we get the Tokyo Drift on trains.
Yeah, this snow blizzard was so bad that after leaving Buffalo, New York, a second engine had to be added to the train just to help pull the fucking thing.
Good God.
So, at 5:01 p.m., the train then left Erie, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's 2 locomotives, which is the engine cars. The Socrates and the Columbia were hauling 2 baggage cars, 2 day passenger coaches, 2 express coaches, a drawing room car, 3 sleeper cars, one of which was called the Palpatine.
You made that up. I don't believe you. You just made that shit up.
I'm not.
Oh my God.
I'm not.
Okay.
The other one was called the City of Buffalo, and the other one was called the Osseo.
Okay.
So anyway, there was also a smoking car attached. With all this, there was about 150 to 200 passengers on board, along with 19 crew. And again, 2 additional locomotives were needed to push the train away from the station due to the heavy snow.
Okay.
Also, Raven, I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah, same. That's great. So, yeah, lots of snow. New engine. Heading toward a bridge that has held together for the initial presentation, but is not actually tested, especially under these conditions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the train was due to arrive in Cleveland, Ohio at 7:05 p.m. But the train was running over an hour behind schedule. So at about 7:30, it was just reaching Ashtabula, again, a city in Ohio.
Okay.
About half an hour earlier, a similar train passed over the bridge without incident heading east.
Okay.
So this bridge was about 1,000 feet east of the station. So you could stand on the bridge, throw a stone, and hit someone who's waiting for a train.
Fun. Because, you know, I too like to throw rocks at people who are just minding their own business waiting on a train.
So, the Pacific Express, this train, it was going over the bridge between 10 to 15 miles an hour, which was about standard, especially for how heavy it was snowing. It's the same principle as a car. You're going to want to go slower.
Okay.
visibility was practically non-existent. At most, 1 or 2 car lengths of a train. So, can't see shit. So, as the Socrates, again, that's one of the names of the train cars, as it neared the western part of the bridge, engineer Daniel McGuire heard a crack and felt the locomotive drop slowly downward.
Oh no. That's like the worst feeling ever. It's like, I can feel myself falling, and not in a good way.
So, Daniel, realizing that the bridge was collapsing beneath him and the train, decided, I'm gonna push the throttle to maximum and see if we can just yeet ourselves over the rest of the bridge.
I mean, I can't say that I would come up with any better solutions in his position, so, you know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, the Socrates lurched ahead just as the weight of 11 cars behind it began to pull on the Columbia, which was right behind the Socrates. So, it's Socrates, Columbia, 11 other fucking cars on this train.
Right.
So, because...
I love how he basically was like, yeah, fuck the people behind me!
So, the Socrates was lurching ahead while the Columbia... The Socrates was pulling itself ahead while the Columbia was trying to pull itself and 11 other cars ahead.
Right.
Because of this huge drastic change in speed, the connection between the Socrates and Columbia snapped.
Okay, makes sense.
The Socrates was able to make it off the bridge. The rear trucks hung in the air, but it was able to eventually move forward enough on the tracks to get to solid ground.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only one that survived the whole thing. Because it just happened to be in front.
This is why you always go first, everybody. Like, trains and the human centipede have taught me that you always want to be the first part of the... You always want to be the first part of the segment.
Yep. So, Daniel McGuire, he brought the Socrates to a halt about 100 yards down the track, and was just slamming to make the whistle and ring the train bell in alarm. As the Columbia and 11 cars, and the 11 cars behind it, acted like a linked chain load. So, the bridge is collapsing. Socrates was able to yeet itself off. Columbia was not able to. And it's slowly going downwards just as Socrates was.
Oh, it's like a... Oh, God! Slow disasters are the worst!
Yeah. Yeah, the bridge's collapse was actually slow and piecemeal. So it's not a quick disaster. You are seeing yourself about to die.
If I gotta die in some horrific situation, like, based off of all of the engineering disasters you've shared with us all so far, I've decided that if I'm gonna go out somehow, I'd rather go out, you know, like the explosion at the high school, where it's just boom, and then that's it, you know? I think I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
If I've gotta pick one, is what I'd rather just not. I'd rather just die peacefully in my bed of old age, preferably either in Ashley's arms or in the middle of a threesome, one or the other, you know?
I mean, yeah.
Like, if I'm really reaching for the stars, that's what I want, but, you know.
So, anyway, so the Columbia, it actually caught on an abutment, which is basically, one of those X things that you see on a bridge as you're passing over it, and it's holding itself basically onto this little piece of wood, barely holding its weight. Meanwhile, the first express car right behind it just fell down into the ravine.
Just like, nope, I'm out.
It crashed nose first into the ground.
God damn.
The Columbia started slipping backwards due to the weight, and landed upside down and backward on top of this car.
Oh, fun.
It then fell onto its side, off of this car. The second express car and the 2 baggage cars landed largely upright. So they landed slightly south of the bridge and kind of... They didn't go nose first. Let's just put it that way.
Ugh.
The second baggage car in this pile was slightly askew, with its nose resting against the western abutment and its rear pointing southeast. So it's basically like leaning onto the side of this bridge where it has
It's just leaning against it. I'm just gonna take a rest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a rest right here. That is like me whenever I'm really drunk and we're trying to walk home. Just like, I'm just gonna lean against this real quick. But then I slowly start sliding down.
Yeah, I know. That's why we get Ubers at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
So, the lower cord on top of the... that load-bearing cord that's supposed to go on the top is...
Oh, yeah.
That he put on the bottom because aesthetic. That fell directly to land on top of the cars that had just fallen down.
Aesthetics, everyone!
Because of this, now that the load-bearing cable was yeeted out of existence, in a sense, the whole thing just started not even collapse in one piece. It's like in the disaster movies where it's like one end just falls and it slowly builds its way back, falling down.
Like watching Legos fall apart.
Yeah. So, the momentum of this now collapsing bridge pulled the rest of the train into the space where the bridge used to be.
And then it Wile E. Coyote, like, oh wait, it's not here anymore.
It literally did. The first passenger coach landed upright in the middle of the stream, atop the wreckage of the bridge and the second express car. The second passenger car twisted in the air as it fell and landed on its side. The smoking car, having broken free of the passenger coach, it moved more freely. Instead of like just falling down like Wile E. Coyote, it was sailing like Thelma and Louise. Because it wasn't attached to another car anymore. And it struck the second passenger car, crushing it. And then was propelled by the weight of that into the first passenger car.
Jesus.
And it's widely believed that the people of the first passenger car, yeah, they died the second that the smoking car fell on them.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But we also have another couple of cars.
Oh, goody. That's right, it's a train. Train mean a lot of cars.
So the momentum carried the parlor car and the three sleeper cars also just down into this ravine. All of them landed about 80 feet south of the remains of the bridge. Now, the parlor car was able to land upright, and one of the sleeper cars was able to land mainly right side up, mostly. The two other sleeper cars, one of them nosedived into the rear of the Palpatine, partially crushing it and killing several people.
Okay.
So it fell on the one that landed upright. Because, you know, fuck you for being competent, I guess.
Yeah, fuck you for being lucky. I don't know if I call it competence, I just call it pure fucking luck.
Yeah. And this sleeper car, the City of Buffalo, that nosedived into the Palpatine to crush it and kill people, it continued through the cart and into the rear side of the parlor car, pushing that car onto its side. And the Buffalo, the same one, it smashed forward and basically T-boned the parlor car, killing everyone inside.
Goody.
So the rear of the Buffalo was laying on top of the Palpatine while also T-boning the parlor car, basically. And the final sleeper car, the Asio, landed on the east bank of the river, mostly upright. It was probably the only one that survived.
Got there and was like, wow, wow!
Yeah.
Actually, wow!
Yeah. And fun fact about trains at this time in the 1800s, they were made of wood A lot of the carts were made of wood.
That is true.
Yeah. And again, there's a smoking car that includes kerosene stoves and oil lamps just in the passenger cars.
Yeah. Because fire safety isn't a thing around here.
Yeah, you know.
Fire safety's for pussies.
Yeah, so the Osseo, the one that, you know, landed on the East Bank and, you know, was mainly upright,
Mm-hmm.
it was the first one that broke out into fire.
So they were like, oh wow, I'm alive, and then fire.
And within 3 minutes, the entire wreckage, this whole crushed up train and this bridge, within 3 minutes, all of it was burning.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
But jet fuel... jet fuel can't melt steel beams!
But you know what can? Paper.
Yeah, paper. Yeah.
Paper burns hotter than jet fuel.
And there was probably some paper on that fucking train.
Yes, that's exactly it. So, basically people have looked at this and figured out that, like, oh, so the engine cars that were the first one to fall through, the Columbia, it's an engine car, there's gonna be fire in there with, like, coal and shit. And then the end car, the Osseo, that had, like, oil lamps and heaters and shit, both of those caught fire, and they kind of just met in the middle within a span of about 3 minutes.
Great.
And this is 3 minutes at the absolute most.
Yeah, it was probably a lot faster. Fire actually spreads really fucking fast. God damn it, I keep fucking this up.
Get better.
I should.
So, basically anyone who survived the initial crash was dead within 20 minutes from fire. Because they couldn't escape because all these...
yeah, because everything was all crumpled together.
Exactly. It was an accordion.
Ugh.
Up in on each other.
And 3 minutes is not enough time for the smoke inhalation to get to you first. You're burning alive.
Yeah. But wait, there's more!
Fucking hell, Billy Mays, calm down!
So, the fire brigade of Ashtabula, their response was very minimal, mainly because the city's fire chief, G.W. Knapp, was an alcoholic.
Are you serious? His name was Knapp? Are you making that up?
No.
Holy shit.
K-N-A-P-P. Knapp.
Wow.
So he was an alcoholic who, even when sober, was slow to make decisions and was easily confused. This is the city's fire chief.
Who you definitely want to be easily confused and slow to make quick decisions.
So, the Lake Erie Hose Company, it arrived with hand-pumped and steam-pumped fire engines, but Knapp never gave any orders to fight the flames.
Why not? Like, dude, this is literally your job!
He told a bystander that there was no use in fighting the fire, even though it was plain that some survivors were still trapped in the wreckage.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That seems like exactly the reason to be fighting a fire.
Yeah.
Fire chief? In fact, as the fire chief, like, I feel like the person you need to hire as the fire chief needs to be the person who, like, breaks out into hives if he goes longer than, like, 3 hours without fighting a fire. Like, you have to set fires just for him to fight it, because otherwise he'll go through withdrawal symptoms.
I volunteer as arsonist.
Yeah, it's like, for the good of the city, I will be the designated city arsonist to ensure that our fire chiefs are properly trained and properly conditioned to compulsively fight every fire in their path.
Yeah, so this dude, like, the railroad employees who, were, like, nearby, because, again, this was very close to the train station.
Mm-hmm.
They were telling him, like, dude, your firefighters need to get out the wounded and at least clear a pathway up the side of the ravine.
We gotta, like, bust this thing open and get some people out. There's people in there, dude!
And at least one member of the town begged him to put water on the flames, but he refused. So in
Oh, see, now the fucking male stubbornness kicked in at that. No, now I'm not gonna do it just because you're asking me to.
so instead,
This is the motherfucker who would turn into a Nazi just because a person who identified as a leftist was, like, brusque with him one time.
So instead, townspeople secured blankets, and with the help of some of the fire brigade, who were forced to sit there with their thumbs up their asses,
That wasn't a metaphor, by the way. Nab had very, very specific kinks.
yes, that's it. They got blankets and tried to put out the blaze themselves.
Mm-hmm.
These are fucking townspeople, while the fire chief is just sitting there sipping on his whiskey and watching it burn.
Again, he's got very specific kinks, and, you know, how often does a train fire come along?
Yeah, another city, the Protection Fire Company, this was a private firefighting industry, they brought their own steam pumpers to try and help, and they were over a mile away from the bridge, but they arrived too late to stop the spread.
Oh.
So everyone was trying to help out, except for this one jackass.
Except for the one person who probably could have saved some lives.
Yeah.
This is legit like if something was like, hey, these people are trapped in this locked safe that's going to explode, and the safe has a Batman fist-shaped keyhole. All you have to do, Batman, is literally just punch it, and it will open this up and save thousands of people, and Batman just be like, no!
But wait, there's more.
Fuck off, Billy Mace.
So, it's reminiscent of the Tenerife airport disaster, where
boy.
people who were trapped inside the cars who were able to survive the initial crash, they were trying to basically pull themselves out of this shit show.
Fair enough. Trying to nope themselves out.
However, it was, again, very, very dark, with blinding snow drifts. harsh
God damn
winds,
you, snow drifts!
And the passengers, it was very difficult to orient themselves out of this wreck.
Can you hear me? It's crazy over here. No time to explain.
I'm at a train crash.
Hold on.
What the hell's going on over there? Jeez, don't leave me hanging, honey.
Okay, so
while a number of passengers were able to basically pull themselves out of this burning wreckage,
I'm amazed that a single one was able to pull themselves out.
Well, a lot of them ended up drowning in the freezing river,
Oh.
and others were able to escape the fire only to die of smoke inhalation.
God damn it.
Yeah, so the injured and dying, they were carried up the steep side of these hills, or hauled up the incline on sleds, pulled by a rope.
Just like grabbing people by the fucking backs of their shirts, just hauling them up there, like somebody get a fucking cowboy to throw a lasso down there and heaving them up that way.
Yeah. But wait, there's more!
Okay.
There was no hospital in this town.
That's alright, we got leeches. We got a doc with a pipe, and he's got morphium and leeches. That's all we need.
So, the injured were taken to the railroad engine house and a filthy and rundown Eagle Hotel adjacent to the station, or just to the town hotel. The town has a hotel, but it doesn't have a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So they were basically putting these people in any beds that they could possibly find. So, these places started to fill up a bit because, you know, a number of people were somehow able to pull themselves out of this bullshit.
And plus, just kind of slightly, this is unrelated, but just kind of unrelated coincidence. There was a convention in town.
Yeah.
TwitchCon was around that time.
Totally. A whole bunch of people in the town were opening up their homes to survivors to try and help them because the fucking fire chief wasn't doing anything. And by midnight, all the survivors...
Okay, well, in that particular situation, he's the fire chief, not the medical chief.
Well,
So,
he
you
should
know.
have done something.
Like, once he's out of there, I'm just saying, once he's out of there, then at that point, it's like, well, you know, Are you on fire? No? Well, then, sounds like...
Jesus.
I'm just saying, loath as I am to make excuses for this man, he is the fire chief. Not the let me make them stop bleeding to death chief.
Well, most firefighters have to know basic first aid to aid the wounded.
No, come on. This guy can't even put out a fire. You think he's gonna bother with, like, the extra courses? I see Kayla's got a look on her face like, fuck, I actually can't argue that logic. As stupid as it is, I can't argue.
So remember, the train was going over the bridge at 7:30 p.m. and only by midnight had any of the survivors reached safety.
Good God, what a horrifying... That's like 4.5 hours?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Of, like, this train going over, this fire burning, people trying to carry themselves out of this mess. And so much bullshit.
I can barely handle 4.5 hours of my actual job, and there's no fire at my actual job.
I don't know, some of the people who call our dumpster fires.
Or they have their septic tank run over.
Yep.
Anyway, continue.
So, the 10 doctors in the village were attending to the wounded, and an hour later at 1 a.m., a special train had arrived from Cleveland, not going over where the
I was about to say,
was.
tell them not to go over the bridge. Like, make that very, very clear in when you send for that. It's like, hey, don't take the bridge. Just trust us.
Special telegram. No bridge. Stop. Do not fly over. Stop. Bring booze. Stop.
Bring Johnny Walker Black. Stop.
So, this train arrived carrying railroad officials to find out what the fuck was happening, and 5 more surgeons to help what the fuck was happening.
Basically, it's the special commission created to investigate what the fuck is happening.
Yes. But
It's
wait,
like
there's more.
It's like the 9/11 commission, except a lot more expletives.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. So, expensive train falls down. People are climbing out of the wreckage. Thieves galore.
You know what? Yeah. Gotta raid that loot box, yo.
Yeah, they were stealing from the dead and the wounded.
Someone just laying there, just please help me. Okay, takes watch. Like, that's not helping me. Au contraire, I've made your spirit so much lighter for when you float into heaven. You'll get there faster. You're welcome.
You joke. You joke.
I know. I'm kind of not joking, though. But I kind of am. Hi, everyone. My name is Bird is the Word, and I make jokes about uncomfortable situations because I'm uncomfortable.
So, by the morning, obviously, a huge crowd of people were gathered at the site to look at what happened. Because, you know, it's 1860, they couldn't go and see a car wreck and bottleneck that, so they had to go see the train wreck.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And
they don't have cable. Give them a break. Give them a break, y'all.
yeah, and some of the crowd was looting the train for souvenirs and shit. And they only got stopped when the mayor of the town put a guard at the site.
A guard! A single one!
A single guard. And, okay, kudos to this mayor. He actually did launch an investigation on everything that was stolen. A couple of arrests were made and some valuables were returned to the victims who were still alive.
Oh, that's nice at least.
Yeah. He actually issued amnesty for anyone who turned over the valuable items.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, we're not gonna charge you, just
bring it back.
Just bring it back. These people have been through enough. Basically. Like, about 1,500, which equates to about $36,000 were collected in money and valuables, but a whole bunch of shit was never recovered.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
So, there's not a very concrete number of people who died. Because the thing with shit happening, especially when it concerns fire, it's really hard to identify people.
That's true. Like, you know. Wasn't that a situation like might have been 9/11, but a situation where there was a really, really hot fire and like bodies almost like melted together.
Exactly, that's
hot
another part of it, is they were literally like melting into parts of the debris, so they didn't know, basically whenever they were doing the cleanup, they didn't know if they were shoveling parts of the train or parts of people that had just gotten burned so badly that they liquefied, in a sense.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Talk about a dude smoothie.
Yeah, so the official accepted count is about 92 dead people.
Okay. How many people were on the train? Do they have a count of that?
I had it.
I was about to say, they must not, because it seems like the obvious solution would be, okay, survivors count off, and then, like, subtract. And
Who's not dead? Sound off!
Yeah, and then, like, subtract that from the number of official passengers. But granted, math fuck knows that decent bridge building wasn't invented at this time, so maybe math wasn't
No, it was!
invented
It was just this one asshole!
Well, they got a police chief who can't even police chief! How do I know they ain't got a school
it's
teacher?
the fire chief!
Fire chief. They got a fire chief who can't even fire chief. How do I know that they ain't got a school teacher that can't even math, you know?
I don't know, that's not my problem.
Feels like it's the survivors' problems.
Yeah, so there was between 150 and 200 people on board as passengers, and about 19 crew members were on board. One of which survived simply because he fucking hit the throttle and got over the bridge in time.
Yeah. Yeah. One of whom literally survived because he just went, fuck this shit, I'm out.
He literally yeeted himself to safety. So, the number of deaths, again, it's not exact, because a whole bunch of the remains were partial, like hands and legs, and torsos, and a whole bunch of them were burned beyond recognition, so they couldn't be identified by clothing or personal items. So, they kind of saw it as a mass cremation burial for anyone who wasn't able to be identified.
And if you guys, like, got a dead body and not enough money to do a funeral, you can, like, still burn it. You can, like, toss them on there if you want.
There were, full and partial remains of about 36 people in, that were moved to the railroad freight house for families, to come and identify.
Great, yeah, alright, does this, burnt up husk look like your father? What about this one? Kind of smell it a little bit, see if you can get a whiff of his cologne or something.
Yeah, like for several days, townspeople and railroad workers were basically digging through all of this mess with anything they had, including shovels or just their hands, trying to find, like, you know, personal items to see if they could help identify people. I mean, they found, you know, partially burned diaries, watches, jewelry, things like that. But those items were all kept by the railroad.
Right.
So when a corpse couldn't be identified, families sometimes use these things that the railroad had now to confirm that a loved one had at least been on board the train. So it's like, okay, I can't tell if this particular foot belonged to my Uncle Jerry. However, that is definitely his watch, so just clip the watch around his severed ankle and toss that in a casket.
God damn.
What?
I feel like we all probably had a different way of viewing death whenever it was quite this prevalent.
Yeah. So, you know, they did have a passenger manifest, but, you know, stowaways were a common thing on trains.
That's true.
Also.
Yeah.
So, anyone who wasn't, like, an injured person that was still recovering, they were notifying all the families and letting them know that this happened. Besides the fire chief, like, good on this town.
Oh, yeah.
They were just like, no, we gotta tell people what happened. Yes, but again, some shit people were sending fraudulent letters to people, trying to get money out of them.
Oh, that's
and shit. Yeah, so this happened in, like, mid-December. People were still finding remains as late as mid-January.
Oh, good. Dear
Yeah.
God.
So, the town Ashtabula Chestnut Grove Cemetery, they offered a burial service for the unidentified
Buy one,
dead.
get one free! And Jerry was like, yeah, everybody thought this would be a terrible idea. Well, who's laughing now? And everyone just looks at and goes, Dave, people are dead. Like, in a horrific manner. A man is dead, Olivia.
So, the burial service for the unidentified dead was on January 19th, 1877, with a mile-long procession to convey the dead to the cemetery. So, you know, even total strangers were coming out to, like, to basically be like, no one should have nobody at their funeral. Yeah, the railroad actually purchased a burial plot with 18 coffins. Although it held the remains of an estimated about 22 people. I mean, it's still nice that the railroad bought the burial plots and everything. They were like, no, we're gonna cover all of this.
Yeah, it's nice in the same manner as those feel-good stories you see on the news nowadays, where a kid sells all of his organs to save orphans from a orphan eating machine, and no one stops and goes, okay, but why is there an orphan eating machine in the first place? How about we just turn that off? And it's like, no, we can't turn it off because the god of capitalism will scream at us if we do.
Yeah. So, investigation.
Oh, fun times.
We're obviously gonna try to find out the fuck happened.
We are?
And innocence. So there was no coroner in Ashtabula. And a coroner's jury of 6 men. These are basically men who are educated doctors or morticians to figure out how exactly these people died and what can be blamed. So, 6 men from the neighboring town.
That sounds an awful lot like a cancel culture committee to me. Kayla's very upset with me for making that joke. Am I canceled now?
The jury took testimony from 20 railroad officials and employees, 9 members of the Ashtabula Fire Department, 10 residents of the town, 6 passengers who had survived, and 8 civil engineers and bridge builders. So, they basically met to try and figure all this out December 31st. They didn't release a report until March 8th. So they were going over everything.
Well, trying to, at least.
So, the coroner's jury blamed the collapse of the bridge and the deaths by fire on 5 different factors.
Okay.
1,
a train falling on them?
1, the bridge was poorly designed.
Right.
Basically, an all-iron Hoe Truss and Hoseby Truss bridge wasn't suitable for such a long bridge. Like, it's fine for a shorter one to be made of all iron. You don't have to, like, get too much done. But if it's over 150 feet long, no, that's not good.
You need to be more flexible to take that weight for so long.
Yeah.
Your hose got to be flexible to take a live load, y'all.
Yeah, some of the members of the cords and the braces of the bridge weren't designed for the amount of strength they needed to hold, and they were poorly placed.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the bridge was poorly designed.
Right.
Second factor, the bridge was poorly constructed. So each part of the bridge, instead of working all together as bridges do, all of it was working independently.
Right, which is not really a good thing on a bridge.
Yes, some of the posts were put in the wrong places. The I-beams were cut away instead of being connected, thus reducing their strength of what they could hold and all that shit.
Right.
So, the modifications made to the bridge before its completion, it was supposed to have, like, thick parts and thin parts, you know, to do everything. And basically all of those were switched around, so the thin parts were where the thick parts were supposed to be, and the thick parts were where the thin parts were supposed to be.
Right.
So that chucklefuck
So, how are you feeling,
just
Travis?
ruined all of it.
Your head feeling better?
Makes sense.
Relieved yourself lately? Maintaining proper oral hygiene? When you're ready, step inside. Some people say it's important to know when to give up.
I don't know the meaning of the word give up.
Which,
you
two
know,
words, so...
I don't know the meaning of the word give up, which is kind of why I had a lot of people look at me really weird whenever I spent like 4 hours trying to revive that one dead bird.
Did you even hear what I just said? And you call yourself an assassin? This is why third rates like you are hopeless. I am 120% certain you are going to die. All you can do is trust your force and head for the Garden of Madness.
So the third factor that they concluded was leading to this bullshit, the railroad bridge inspectors didn't do their job adequately.
What?
Yeah, the inspectors should have been like, in the planning stages should have been, no, this is not gonna work, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, shouldn't have been firing all those people who said this is not gonna work.
Yeah. So, basically, with the inspectors, they didn't do their main job of, like, approving a bridge design that was actually gonna work, but whenever they were doing inspections on the bridge, they were just complacent as all hell, and just like, it's still there, it's fine.
It's kind of holding up.
It's
Put
not...
some duct tape on it.
Yeah.
And then somebody went, what the fuck is duct tape? Like, don't worry about it.
So factor number 4, the railroad itself failed to use self-extinguishing heating stoves, as required by a state law passed about 5 years earlier. Which, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. And the 5th factor, the fire was worsened by the failure of those at the scene to douse the flames. I.e., the fire chief!
Yeah, the fire chief didn't, like, do this. Before we go into this fight, I feel like you're getting close to wrapping up, so I want to let you go ahead and... Because everyone's kind of curious about, like, what the fallout was.
So, Amasa Stone, the guy who designed the bridge and fired everyone who was a naysayer,
Right.
he was held personally responsible for the bridge's design, and the railroad company was held responsible for the lack of inspection and the failure to use the self-extinguishing heating stoves. G.W. Knapp, the fire chief, was also held personally responsible for failing to fight the fire in a timely fashion. So, they were chastised.
They were chastised quite harshly.
Yes.
A gentleman came up to them and said, now see here. Now see here. That is quite unbecoming conduct of a gentleman.
Yeah.
I mean, I jest, but that's probably exactly what happened.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah, so Amasa Stone, he actually owned the railroad that was doing all this shit. So that's why he was able to fire everyone, because he owned the railroad, and he just wanted to make his own bridge.
Wow. He is literally... Okay, I'm sorry, can we just say it? Like, can we all just be brave and say it with our full chest? He's Elon Musk.
He is Elon Musk.
It's like, I own it, and I want to make something for myself, and damn all of you who say I cannot do it.
He categorically denied that there were any design or construction flaws with that bridge. And he blamed the bridge's collapse on the derailment of one of the locomotives pulling the train, or by a loose rail causing the train's derailment.
But he owns the railroad. So wouldn't that still be his fault?
No.
You gotta admire the bare-faced cheek of a man who will stand right next to his collapsed bridge and say, no, there's nothing wrong with it.
Wait, there's more.
Okay.
The railroad also hypothesized that a tornado may have hit the bridge, causing it to come loose.
When the fuck did that happen? That massive bridge-destroying tornado that destroyed one of the most...
No, it didn't destroy the bridge, it just loosened all the nuts and bolts on it.
That sounds like some shit that Butters would do as Professor Chaos. Like, he just, like, loosened one little screw thinking, ha, I have caused great. But he doesn't realize that the one screw that he loosened was a really, really important one. Like the Jesus nut on a helicopter or something. There's a thing on helicopters, by the way, especially, in the military.
Stop playing the game.
Yeah, I have to share this. Well, there is a, on helicopters, especially in the military, there is this item on the upper rotational blade that basically helps to hold the blade onto the carriage itself, and that's called the Jesus nut. It's a military term because because the idea is that if that nut fails, then the whole crew's going to be joining Jesus. So now I just have this image in my head of Professor Chaos loosening one nut, thinking, aha, I have caused, a lot of difficulty for you all. And he just happened to loosen the Jesus nut on a helicopter carrying the president or some shit. And so therefore Butters becomes a successful presidential assassin without ever getting caught.
I mean, it's genius. So,
if Trey Parker and Matt Stone write that, I want all of you to inform them that they stole my idea.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, Simpsons did it.
So
Bird said it.
So the railroad refused to accept responsibility for the disaster. However, they still paid out more than $500,000 to the victims and families to keep them from suing them.
Once again, we're not admitting to any blame, but we will give you money to please go away.
Yeah.
Wow. So what have we all learned from this? I like to ask us all after you've completed one of your stories. What have we all learned from this story? And I think the thing that we have learned is don't put all of your live load bearing on one hoe, even if it may cost a little bit more. The most sufficient way to hold a live load is with as many hoes as possible. I feel like that's the lesson we can take from this.
Sure.
I will take this as the lesson of the day. Now let's see what this guy's about.
Oh man. I thought I wouldn't make it here on time. Had to take care of some customers that filed complaints.
Oh my god, he's a post worker.
So much.
He's going postal.
This actually makes me happy.
Stand these people with all their nonsense complaints. They think they can just say anything. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm here. I made it on time. That's the important thing, right? I take it you're Mr. 8?
You? You're ranked?
Not me. Well, actually it is me.
Oh, that makes sense.
Never mind then. We've got a job to do. But first I need some time to get ready. Would you mind turning the other way? I need some privacy.
Privacy?
Yes. I need to prepare.
Whatever. Don't mind me. Pretend I'm not even here.
I just need you to look the other way for a second.
A second?
Yes, just a split second.
I don't know, man. Seems sus.
Then we can get
Does
on
he
with
go
our
whip
fight.
out his dick or something?
Probably.
All right.
Bro, I told you not to do it.
Vision!
Oh, damn it. Whoa, that was close. For a second there, I forgot that you were a killer.
Sorry if I scared you. I didn't mean to do that. Something's wrong with me today.
Are you?
I let my guard down. Getting sloppy.
Are you the French kid from My Hero Academia?
I think he might
Mind
be.
if I ask you something?
Yeah, what is it, Mr. Cosplay?
We're both assassins, right? Why do we have to kill each other anyway? If you ask me, it's absolutely meaningless.
No, dude, I didn't come here for philosophy, okay? I'm here to kill people while my sister talks about people killing people in real life.
What? You want to shake hands?
There is another part of the story I want to tell.
Not
Oh,
killers,
no.
At least for now. This is a sign of sportsmanship.
He's gonna
We
throw you
respect
into, like,
each
a
other
fucking
before
wall, dude.
And after the
Yeah.
fight. Good luck.
Likewise.
Destroy Spark.
Told you. What a dumb motherfucker.
Oh, this is great. Is this guy an idiot or what?
Now you've turned into Mr. Joke.
Is this a joke?
Yeah.
You fell for the oldest trick in the book.
You don't even know what I'm
Man,
talking
you
about.
No, I
are
don't.
Something. Oh, this is the best. Man, you really cracked me up. I think this laughter's gonna kill me. Oh, seriously. I think I might really die from laughter. It hurts. Someone help. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I thought I was gonna die there. For real. And look at you. You look like you're dead. I guess it's time for a wake-up call. Destroy town! Destroy team! This is where it gets good. Good night. Destroy!
Destroy crotch?
Yeah, I saw that on My Hero Academia.
That was quite a move. I'll admit you've got potential. If challenge had a taste, you'd be quite delicious.
Fight for the seventh?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I love a
Okay,
challenge.
sure, whatever.
You're as good as dead.
You're as dead as good!
So remember Charles Collins? He was the first guy hired to oversee the plans, and he got fired
Right?
because he said, no, this bridge fucked.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a belly button, be my no. Anyway, so Charles Collins, who was still the engineer of the railroad, who was fired from that particular project, he felt such immense guilt over this. Even though, like,
Even though
he
he was
never signed
actively
off on the bridge.
Yeah, he actively tried to stop the creation of the bridge.
Yeah, but he still felt responsible, even though he never signed off on the bridge, and, you know, said it was an experimental design that would not work. He cried like a baby whenever he saw what happened, and he was so upset by it, he most likely committed suicide a couple months later.
That's awful.
Yep. So again, what did we learn, children?
I'm still going with my initial idea of, hold on, I need to turn this down because it's getting a little bit loud. This fight's really loud. I'm still going with my initial assessment that you always need more hoes in your life to bear your load. I think I'm gonna stick with that lesson.
I mean, fair. Does anyone have any other recommendations for shit that I can look up and tell us about?
Was there a I didn't get out of the way fast enough. That wasn't me. Wasn't there like a channel fire in the big channel between the UK and France?
Most likely, I actually have not heard of this.
I thought it was on, I'm pretty sure it was on,
Well, There's Your Problem?
yeah, Well, There's Your
Well, I
Problem.
haven't seen every single one of their episodes. Come on.
Well, why not?
Because I love rewatching the Costa Concordia one.
Fair enough. What?
We're making for an interesting D&D prep for Sewer Boss.
Well, I'm glad, Sewer Boss.
Okay. Lake Erie was on fire during the 70s. Holy shit. Hold on, I forgot. I was gonna tell you about the Eschede train disaster.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, June 3rd, 1991.
Okay.
In the village of Eschede in the lower district, Saxony, Germany. So, the Hanover-Hamburg line was traveling down.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. So, it was traveling on the Munich to Hamburg route and was scheduled to stop at least 6 or 7 different stops before reaching Hamburg. After stopping at Hanover at 10:30, the train continued northwards at 80 miles an hour. So it was about 40 minutes away from Hamburg and 6 kilometers south of central Eschede when a steel tire on a wheel of the third axle of the first car peeled away from the wheel and punctured the floor of the train.
Okay.
So, part of a wheel flew off and decided to become part of the floor and actually went through, and nearly taking off a passenger's arm.
Okay, we got this guy down, so let's pause. Let's pause on mutilation for just a moment.
Don't cry like that. You're a killer, aren't you?
Help!
What?
Help!
I can't hear you.
Help me! Please!
Was this
What
another
is this I
prank?
hear from a 7th ranked killer? Whatever. It's over anyway.
Please! Help!
Sounds like a 7th ranked bitch!
There you go.
See, it was another trick. Oh, now he's got destruction nipples.
I've seen Austin Powers.
He just stood in between them. Like, whatevs. Machine gun jumblies? How did I miss those, baby?
They were on a man.
Fair enough. Although the line is, perhaps next time you should try foreplay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk to the crazy bitch.
Sweet.
I feel like we did pretty good on this fight, personally.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay, I was.
Travis, I'm starting to think that you may be for real. You are now 7th in rank.
Hey, when I hit number 1, you better be looking your best.
Fuck you!
No need to pretty up. I want you to see me for who I really am.
Serious? Damn.
Is that code for anal?
I think so. Alright, so when last we left our intrepid hero, he'd had his arm maimed off.
No.
Or almost taken off.
Jörg Dittman, one of the passengers in Coach 1, he was the one who noticed that the tire embedded in the rail car because it went through an armrest in the compartment he was in, right between where his wife and son were sitting.
I love how you say he noticed as if he, like, had to roll a high perception check to make sure that he saw it. I love that.
So, Dittman took his wife and son out of the damaged coach and went to tell a conductor.
Come along now, family.
Yeah.
Let us speak with the gentleman in charge, and he shall no doubt take care of this post-haste.
Yeah. Now,
I say, good sir, are you aware that that there's a tire in your train car, and I don't think it's meant to be there.
this is 1998, calm down. So, with a situation like this, you would probably expect them to maybe stop the train, call the police.
This is Diane from Beefhead Videos. Just calling to let you know that the video you reserved is here. Title is How to Please a Woman in Bed 101 Part 3. Oh, one of the girls here said that you might need a new pillow cover for this one. You know, just for protection. Thank you.
Roll deception.
Congratulations on your touchdown. Your registration for the 7th UAA rank is
God,
over.
throw that shit away.
I know, right? Like,
We have faxed you some information about the rankings in case you wish to continue your ascent. Please transfer the money into the designated account as soon as possible. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Okay, so Dittman and his family moved to Coach 3 to tell a conductor, who you would think would, like, ask to have the train stopped, maybe do some investigation, make sure no one's hurt or anything. No. So, the conductor, who had noticed vibrations from the loss of the tire, said,
Hey, girl.
okay, we need to investigate the circumstance, but because it's a company policy, we have to keep it in-house. So only I can go and look at it, and you can't hit the emergency brake.
I am giving Kayla such a what the fuck look right now.
Yeah. Well, company policy is he has to investigate it before pulling the emergency brake. He needs to see if it's serious enough.
If the guy come running in there with an actual arm taken off, it'd be like, well, company policy says that I must investigate. Takes a little dab of the blood off his arm, licks it. Yes.
Jelly.
Yes, that is definitely jam.
So, the conductor took 1 minute to get to the site on Coach 1. This is almost 2 minutes after
taking a
this
nice
tire-
leisurely stroll.
Yes! Yes! He is. So, according to Dittman, who nearly whose wife and son nearly may have been decapitated by this rogue train tire.
Rogue train tire sounds so amazing. Makes it sound
It
like
sounds
the
like a
train
metal
tire-
band.
Yeah, it makes it sound like the train tire was like out for revenge for whatever reason.
So, according to Dittman, the train was starting to sway from side to side. Can't imagine why.
Travis.
No idea.
How's business?
And the conductor still did not show any willingness to stop the train immediately at that point, because he wanted to investigate more thoroughly.
Okay.
Dittman said he was searching for the emergency brake, but he hadn't noticed that there was an emergency brake handle in his own compartment he was in before.
Come back again.
Because, you know, he was probably too busy trying to get his wife and son out.
Yeah, he's probably like, yeah, we should leave.
Yeah, so the crash occurred right as Dittman was about to show the armrest puncture that this tire yeeted through to the conductor. So,
Was this the only conductor of the train?
no, this was just the first one that he could find.
Okay, alright, just thought I'd ask.
No, it's just a guy doing his job.
Yeah.
He didn't think it was that big a deal. He probably dealt with shit like this all the time.
Tire through the window, not a big deal.
No, tire through the floor, thank you.
Oh, well, and that, you know what? I see where I went wrong. I see where I erred. I thought it was serious when it was through the window. Turns out, no, it was just through the floor. Now, if it had gone through the window...
I did not say it was not serious. Do not put words in my mouth.
I'm gonna put words in your mouth.
I didn't say it wasn't serious. I'm just saying, if you're gonna scold him, be accurate about it.
I'm just saying, pomegranate. That's a word that I'm now putting in your mouth.
I am not Persephone, thank you very much. Although I wish I was, Jesus. Anyway.
Taking out all your frustrations on the souls of the dead.
Yes.
Until Kratos comes along and kills you.
I want to wait until Hades.
I have a video of that, by the way. If any of y'all want to watch me kill Persephone, it's on my YouTube channel. Plug.
Plug. Yes.
That's it. Yeah, I actually do need to, like, plug that. It's on my YouTube channel, just FYI. I've played through the entire God of War series. Anyway, let's continue.
So the train passed over the first 2 points. This is where, you know, the rails are connecting and make train go nyum.
Make train go nyum!
The embedded tire slammed against the guide rail of these points and pulled the train away from the railway ties.
Okay.
So, it's getting the train off the track.
Okay, you know,
And
fair enough.
This guide rail that the tire slammed against also just penetrated the floor of the car.
Yeah, penetrated.
And became embedded in the vehicle to the point that it lifted the train off of the rails. So it's like, how do I describe this? You're driving a car and all of a sudden a light pole that was flying through the air comes into your car right in the middle of it and it launches you forward now.
And then in that moment, you are no longer driving a car.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you are not driving a car anymore.
So at 10:59 a.m. local time, one of the now derailed wheels of the truck struck the points lever of the second switch, changing its setting. It was changing the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
The rear axles of car number 3 were switched to a different track, so front part of train go one way, back part on a different part of the track.
Oh dear.
That doesn't work well together.
Typically not, no.
Yeah, so the entire third car was thrown into the piers of a roadway overpass, destroying them. Behind that, car number 4 was derailed by the violent deviation of car number 3. Can't imagine why. Still traveling at about 125 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It passed intact under this bridge and rolled onto the embankment, just taking out several trees before it finally stopped.
'Cause fuck them trees, man.
Yeah. 2 railway workers who were working near the bridge were instantly killed when the car crushed them.
Okay. Cool.
So, again, even though the third car took out this supporting pier of the roadway overpass, because the car couplings broke apart, sending them in different directions, the emergency brakes kicked in automatically, so the first 3 cars came to a stop. It's fine, everything's fine. Except now we have a bridge collapsing.
It's fine, I'm sure it won't be. It's always a goddamn bridge.
Yeah. So, the front power car and the first 2 coaches, they cleared the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Coach 3 was the one that hit the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and, took out the supporting pillar, but it still cleared it as it was collapsing. So, it was literally a hit and run.
Wow.
Coach 4 barely cleared it, and again, it went into the group of trees onto the side and killed some railroad workers. They were just standing there doing their jobs.
It's just minding their own business.
Yeah. The bridge concrete pieces that were falling and collapsing, they crushed the rear half of Coach 5 as it was trying to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
The restaurant coach, number 6, was crushed to... This giant train car was hit with so much concrete at such a high speed that it was crushed into basically a 6-inch high train car.
Wow.
It was literally flattened to a pancake.
Much like that lady just now.
Yeah. Yeah, so the restaurant coach was crushed to a 6-inch height. 15 centimeters.
Okay.
So the track was now just completely fucked because there's a bridge collapse onto it now. And the remaining...
I mean, I'm sure it's fine.
The remaining cars of the train started just jackknifing into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, they're still going like 130 miles an hour.
Okay.
Coming to a sudden stop and coming into a zigzag pattern. Folding up like an accordion.
Okay.
So, cars 7, the service car, the restaurant car, and the first 3, and the 3 first-class cars numbered 10, 11, and 12, and the rear power car all derailed and just slammed into this pile of concrete and into each other.
Mm-hmm. So,
and again, this is a bridge of a highway. So, an automobile was obviously found in the wreckage that actually belonged to 2 railway technicians and was probably parked on the bridge before the accident.
Mm-hmm.
So the men who were in the forest and crushed by the car, or crushed by the train car that had decided to make its new home as a cabin, they had parked their car up on that bridge, and it just kind of fell down into this folding accordion of
It's like, let's just add a car on there just for funsies.
Yeah. So now the first car is separated. The detached front power car coasted for another 2 miles until it came to a stop at the passing Eschede railway station. So, I mean, it made it.
It made it.
It made it. The front car made it.
So then?
Sorry.
Oh, you're alright.
So, obviously, big crash like that, people are gonna hear about it.
They're gonna hear it, also.
Yeah, witnesses said it sounded like something akin to a plane crash. That's how loud and destructive and shit it was. One woman, Erica Carl, she was the first person who arrived on the scene, and she photographed it.
Okay.
And, whoo boy.
She's just a amateur photographer, like, oh man, this is...
Kind of, actually.
Oh, wow.
Her husband thought it was a plane crash. And so, after the accident, 8 of the ice carriages in an area slightly longer than the length of a carriage. So, basically, 8 train cars were folded up to the length of 1 train car.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is like some, what's it called? Unbreakable shit right there.
Yeah. So, sorry, let me... So at 10:59 a.m. this happened, and by 11:02 a.m., the local police had declared an emergency. So,
Took
you
a
know...
little while?
Huh?
Said it took a little while?
3 minutes?
Well, you know.
At 11:07, the magnitude of the disaster finally became clear as people understood, oh, a plane didn't crash, a train just...
I feel like it's still a disaster even if it was a plane crash. Like, I feel like the second that
It was elevated to a major emergency. They were just like, which emergency are we dealing with?
Okay. Can we just start with general emergency first and then we'll worry about the details later?
Do we have Tenerife or do we have Ashtabula? Which one happened? So, at 11:07, it was made into a major emergency, and at 12:30, the local government declared it a catastrophic emergency.
Okay.
So, more than 1,000 rescue workers were brought in, including people from the Army, rescue services, fire departments, and the police.
Okay.
So, they were all dispatched. 37 emergency physicians were actually attending a professional conference in nearby Hanover. And they basically took a different train and made their way over there as quickly as they could.
Made their way downtown, walking fast, faces passing their homebound.
Yes. They were just like, fuck this conference.
It was boring anyway.
And again, these 37 emergency
I was
physicians who went over...
I was promised a ball pit. It was just a kiddie pool with some plastic balls in it. Fuck this conference. Sorry, okay, continue.
So these 37 emergency physicians, they actually also served in the British, they did units of the British forces. So they had some disaster experience from the Army.
Okay.
So they were literally the best people to get there and try to help out with this disaster. So the driver and many passengers in the front couple of cars of the train, they survived with minor to moderate injuries. So, you know, some people survived. But there were very few survivors in the rear carriages. Can't imagine why.
Gosh, it's a mystery, I tells ya.
Yeah, so with this entire train folding in on itself, plus the 2 railroad workers who were just in the forest doing their fucking job, it came out to 101 people dying.
And then the writer of 101 Dalmatians said, I have an idea.
Well, think about this. Another train had just passed under that bridge in the opposite direction only 2 minutes earlier before this shit happened.
Oh, could have been a lot worse then.
Yeah.
Although I feel like that's probably an insensitive thing to say, all things considered, because, like, I feel like for the people who, like, either died or lost someone, they probably don't want to hear, yeah, but, you know, it could have been worse.
Yeah. So, causes.
Yes, let's get to that.
So, remember how I told you that the railroad workers had, like, parked their car up on the bridge? And it fell down into the chasm mess of the train? Right? Whenever this shit first happened, people originally thought, oh, the car was actually on the train tracks and the train collided with it.
Oh, yeah, I can see where they could, from initially looking at it, I can see where that mistake would be made.
Well, see, they thought this because that exact thing happened and caused the train to jackknife 6 years earlier. However, this was quickly, thrown away whenever people realized, hey, the front car's not hurt or damaged at all.
Yeah, so that's impossible.
Yeah.
Again, though, all things considered, it was a very fair initial, literally just glancing at it. That was a fair initial assessment.
That's probably what Erica thought, and she was just spreading it around in her Facebook group.
Probably. Hey, listen, Erica, she tried her best. Her best just wasn't all that great.
Yeah. So, one of the big factors that led to this was the design of the tires that were actually on the train.
Makes sense. The tire does seem to be the harbinger of death in this particular situation.
Yeah, there wasn't a way at that point, because this is a new design for these tires. There wasn't a way to really measure its margin of safety.
Right.
So,
because why would you want to be able to test that?
Yeah, see, they couldn't, because it was, because it wasn't brand new, they didn't figure out that the tire actually became thinner whenever, due to wear, as things happen.
Oh, whoa, but that's like a universal thing. I could have told them that tires get thinner because of wear. Like, that's like one of the first things I learned in driver's ed.
Maybe it works differently with trains. I genuinely do not know.
No, it doesn't, though. Have you ever looked at train tires?
No.
Ones that have run for a while, they have wear on them.
So another part with the tires was that the way that they were made, it's basically like the material was flattened into a cast, and the wheel turning, because of this design, which is not a normal way that train tires are made, it allowed for cracks to pop up in the tires.
Right.
And again, with general wear and tear, these cracks are gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Makes sense.
So, as they get used, cracks get bigger, but you're still going super fucking fast even whenever these things fall off.
Right.
Which is exactly what fucking happened.
The train can't exactly stop and go, oh, wait a minute, I got some boo-boo on my leg.
Yeah, basically. So this particular design of tire had a huge increased chance of wearing down a lot faster than a normal tire would. That's basically what it comes down to.
Okay.
So, another factor was the failure to stop the fucking train.
Yeah. Bureaucracy fucks everything up.
Yeah. Like, the investigation said, had the train been stopped immediately after the disintegration of the wheel, it's unlikely that the train would have turned into an accordion. So, always know where your emergency exits and emergency brakes are, children.
That is actually one of the benefits of anxiety, is that just as an aspect of anxiety and constantly being afraid of being caught in situations just like this, I will hyper focus myself from the moment I walk into a place. First thing I do is I legit go, okay, where's the emergency exits? That is legitimately the first thing I do, is spot every single exit in the room, just in case.
Yeah, so the conductor, again, he cited company policy as the reason why he couldn't immediately pull the emergency brake at that time.
Right.
And The decision was actually upheld in court, and he was absolved of any charges.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm not down for blaming the person because, you know, I get it. They can get in a lot of trouble. You can get in a lot of trouble for breaking company policy. I can tell you that.
Yeah, because the whole thing is that he was just an employee. He wasn't a manager. He wasn't a conductor. He was just literally just someone there.
Yeah,
he was the only person with a name tag there. So he couldn't make an engineering judgment to stop the train. So they were like, okay, you were just doing your job. We're gonna absolve you of charges.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, that happened. So another thing that factored into it was general maintenance of the train.
Okay.
So they didn't... Whenever the train was in for maintenance, instead of, like, you know, running genuine tests on the tires and making sure that they're still working well, that they're not worn down very much, they showed a flashlight at it and they were like, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, makes sense to me. That sounds about right.
Yeah. See, they used to use specific machines for testing it, but they gave back a lot of false positives. So they didn't want to use that, and instead they just fucking eyeballed it.
Just eyeball it. Why are a lot of engineering disasters started with the phrase, I'll just eyeball it?
Hubris.
Yeah. It's because they get away with eyeballing it a few times, so they think, oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah, literally a week before this shit happened, 3 separate automated checks that trains go through indicated that a wheel was defective. This was a week before this happened.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, like 2 months prior to this disaster, conductors and other train staff filed 8 separate complaints about noises and vibrations generated from the defective wheel.
So there was, like, literally every type of warning they could have possibly gotten.
Yeah, the company just didn't replace the wheel. Deutsche Bahn said its inspections were proper at the time, and that the engineers could not have predicted the wheel fracture.
How on earth could you not have? That's like, you're an engineer, isn't it your job to predict that kind of shit?
Well, it's kind of hard to whenever you just take a flashlight, eyeball it, and say looks good.
But when you're getting warnings about something, I mean, look, I'm as lazy as the next motherfucker, don't get me wrong, but like the fridge that we have right now, if you suddenly came to me and said, dude, that thing is like squealing and rattling and it's really, really bad, at a certain point I'd be like, I should probably check that out.
I remember how we were given plenty of warnings that a pandemic was gonna happen, and then we didn't listen?
You know what, fair enough. You know what, I rest my case. I retract my original statement.
So there were a couple of other little things that may have led to all of this shit. For example, the design of the bridge may have contributed because it was basically, who says the complaints actually made it to the engineer? That's a very good point.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Fair point.
So another part may have just been the bridge itself that was hit with the train cars because it only had 2 pillars supporting it.
Could have been that could have been an issue.
And you know, one of them going down. I don't think the other one was the little. I don't think it was the little concrete pillar that could hold up an entire bridge by itself.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Do the thing.
Yeah,
do the thing.
Okay?
There we go.
You okay?
Just like frantically flapping around trying to...
So, basically, the disintegrated wheel was the root cause of the accident. And...
Oh, come on.
Who couldn't have fucking seen that coming except with the, 2 months prior, at least 8 different complaints that this shit was happening.
Yeah, who could have possibly seen this coming?
Yeah. It also kind of came down to the bridge was just, it was just in the worst possible position at that point.
Right.
Because the wheel just, at that moment, decided, nah, I'm done. So the bridge was kind of a inconsequential thing.
It was literally like whenever the wheel was like your ex who, like before she becomes your ex, she consistently tells you that there's something wrong, that like, you know, she's not happy and you just ignore it. And then whenever she's like, fine, I'm done, and walks out, you're like, how could this have happened?
Yeah. Yeah, the biggest problem with the bridge was just that it was putting all its weight on 2 concrete pillars when it should have not done that.
Bridge was not in the proper upright position.
So Deutsche Bahn, the company that owns the railroad and everything, they paid out 30,000 Deutschmarks, which is about $19,000 to each fatality, to the families. And, you know, they also settled with some victims. They basically paid off people to make sure that they didn't sue.
While simultaneously not admitting any fault.
Yes.
Yeah, how did I know? How did I know? You didn't even tell me that part. This is the first I've ever heard about this, but immediately I was just like, while simultaneously not admitting to any fault.
So, in August of 2002, this is a couple years after everything happened, 2 Deutsche Bahn officials and 1 engineer were charged with manslaughter because of the disaster.
Okay.
Because again, they were told so many times, wheels fucked up, fix it.
We'll be fucked, do something please.
So the
we'll be fucked, fix or we all be fucked.
Yeah. The trial lasted about 53 days. You know, with expert witnesses giving us the report of what exactly happened and all the factors that led to the bullshit that happened.
Legal system working as intended, of course.
And the case eventually ended in a plea bargain in April 2003. Basically, it said, if the defendant has not been found to bear substantial guilt, and if the state attorney and the defendant agree, the defendant may pay a fine, and the criminal proceedings are dismissed with prejudice and without a verdict. Each engineer paid 10,000 euros, aka about 12,000 American dollars, to not get charged with manslaughter.
Sounds like the justice system working as intended.
Yep. And you know, afterwards, most major rail companies, especially Deutsche Bahn, just changed the design of all the wheels on their trains. Understandably so. So, all in all, on this train, by the way, was 287 passengers, 8 crew, which was 6 train conductors and 2 maintenance people. 101 people died.
God damn.
88 had severe injuries, and 106 were either had light injuries or they somehow made it out unscathed. Most of them were in the front cars.
God damn.
Yep. So, train drifting is not a good idea.
That is definitely one thing that we have learned here today. Oh, for fuck's sake.
And
we also learned that Steph's not good at... We also learned that Bird is just not very good at, baseball.
Well, we never were.
Yeah. That was Nathan's wheelhouse, not mine.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a rank, that's how sad that was. Damn.
Also, you can see recreation and dramatization of this derailment in the first season of the National Geographic documentary series Seconds from Disaster.
Alright, so,
Oh, also, a previous fatal train accident occurred at the exact same spot in 1897.
That's just like a bad omen.
But that only had 3 fatalities and 9 injuries. This one...
Just 3 fatalities, though.
This one was like, hold my fucking beer.
Yeah. This one was like, oh, we can do better than that.
Yeah. Yes, Rose, I would love to... If you guys have any suggestions for shit that you want to hear me talk about, say, next week, whenever we do this, just leave them in the chat, either stream chat or in the chat on the Discord, and I will do research and come back next week with, like, photos and shit.
come at you with the photos and the receipts.
Yeah.
So what have we learned here today?
Train drifting is not a thing.
That.
No matter how much you try to make it a thing.
Also, the justice system works perfectly as intended, and why on earth would you think that anything was wrong with it?
Well, I mean, it's the German justice system.
Oh, even better. Okay, I have a genuine question. Here's my question. And this is for you and also for chat. So let's say that you are a resident of Germany and the Deutsche Bahn incident, that horrific event takes place. Do you get on one of those trains afterwards?
Well, it's
like immediately afterwards, I mean?
Well, it's like the major rail company.
Yeah, but like... Do you, like, immediately afterwards? Do you just, like, cancel all of your trips? Or are you just like, hey, they're gonna be, like, super careful right now with everything that just happened, and also the tickets are gonna be really fucking cheap, so... So if you have a choice, basically, do you get on one of those trains afterwards? I always wonder about that, like, okay, like the Costa Concordia, after that incident. Well, actually, honestly, you shouldn't be taking cruises anyway. They're horrific for the environment, and also the work environment on cruises is just absolutely abhorrent, and it's like heavily outsourced work, and they really take advantage of their workers, and people just kind of vanish off of these fucking boats, by the way.
Yep.
Like, they just vanish.
Never found.
Never found. Nothing, you know? So, you know, so, you know, all that. But, like, after incidents like this, you know, do you fly or sail or train with that brand ever again?
You know what? If I paid good money for a train card to get me everywhere I needed to go, yeah, probably.
Wow.
I'm cheap.
I'm sure the cost of the tickets don't change. Well, I mean, you would definitely have a very empty train. You'd have a lot of leg room, I imagine.
Exactly! You get the good seats.
Kyla's just thinking about this, like, in terms of practicality. Like, well, I don't have to deal with other people.
What else did you expect from me, though?
I mean, you know, just kind of curious.
Yeah.
Don't ask where the sandwich at the buffet came from.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, sail-by salutes are bullshit from cruises.
Yes.
Yeah. The locals hate that. Please don't do that.
You know, you displace a whole bunch of water. Maybe probably sweep a small child out to sea.
wake up a whole bunch, like, wake up people from a dead sleep who probably really need that sleep.
Yeah, with your loud fucking ship horn.
Wake up an entire, like, hospital full of cancer patients or some shit.
Yeah. Anyone outside at the time of night going on a date by the pier is just covered in water, possibly swept out into the ocean by the force of the waves.
Couple of busted eardrums from your horn.
Few broken windows.
Yeah, so it sounds like just good, clean fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's a pen?
I don't know. Prick your finger and write it in blood.
Sweet.
You're such a prick.
I am. That's what I get.
I know.
I was handing you a pen whenever that happened.
I know.
I want that to be known. I was handing Kayla a pen in the moment when that happened.
I gotta write down what shit I'm researching.
Yes.
Okay. DuPont Plaza Hotel arson.
Sweet.
Okay.
While I fill up gas.
And the Great Molasses Flood of Boston.
I've heard of that. I don't know the exact details, but I've heard of that. People actually died.
Oh yeah.
In that shit.
Quite a number of people died.
Which is, like, crazy when you think about it.
Yes.
I think there was another instance where, like a major brewery,
Sweet.
like the big gallon tubs or whatever they had holding the beer, like, they somehow just broke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just beer flooding the streets and killed a couple people too.
Yeah. You'd think something like that would be fun, but you would be wrong.
Yeah. Talk about drunk driving. People are dead.
Amanda's dead, Olivia.
Yes.
You died.
How do I set on fire if I put too much gas? That makes no sense.
This is a Suda 51 game.
Damn it, Suda 51, makes sense!
I think you're asking too much.
I agree, actually, wholeheartedly, that I am definitely asking too much. It's like, if we found out that the pandemic was actually caused by cruise ships, do you think that, that people would still go on cruises?
I think our dad would do it just to spite us.
Yeah, if we specifically said don't do it.
Yep.
Maybe if we... Maybe that's why... Then maybe that's where I... Because Dad went to Florida.
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
In the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, like a month ago.
To Disney World.
Yeah, like a month ago. And I was like, okay. Well, no, I argued very strongly against it, and it's kind of caused a rift that I'm pretty convinced is never actually going to be healed between us because of how upset we both got at each other. Because, you know, I wanted him to live. We literally had the Frieza from Dragon Ball Z abridged situation. He wanted himself to live, and I disagreed. Why do you want to die? No, I mean, is it because you look weird? What? It was seriously that.
You seem to have a lot of meme fights with our dad.
I do. I have a lot of them.
You had the wallet fight. Now you got the Frieza fight.
Yeah. We had the wallet fight, y'all. You know the bit in SpongeBob. Whenever when they're trying to fix Man Ray and make him a good person, and so he's like faking it to get the tickle belt off of himself. So he's like, goodness lesson number 1: you see someone drop their wallet. What do you do? Excuse me, sir. I believe you dropped this wallet. Nope. It's Patrick because Patrick's an idiot. He's like, nope, it's not mine. And it's like, are you Patrick Starr? Yes. And this is your library card. Yes. I found this library card in this wallet. So if that's the case, then this must be your wallet. That makes sense to me. Okay, so then take it. It's not my wallet. Okay, that argument. So me and my dad basically had that argument.
Hello?
Let this happen.
At the beach. Are you coming?
Yes,
Not
I am,
like
madam.
I am waiting for you or anything.
So, like, after Herman Cain, it was Herman Cain, right?
Yep, it was Herman Cain.
So after Herman Cain died of COVID, which he acquired because he was at a goddamn Trump rally with a lot of unmasked people all around him. All around me are familiar faces indeed.
I was about to say it!
Yeah. All around me are familiar faces indeed. So he got COVID, and then he fucking died. And I'm not saying that as in, oh, it was good that he got COVID and died, because, illness is not a result of moral failings, and I never ever want to give the impression that I think that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a case of, I don't know what you expected.
Yeah.
And
it's literally a dead dove in a bag.
Yeah, so, then he dies, and they announce that he's died. And of course they say he died from COVID, because that's what he died from. And so, my grandma just happened to mention, she was just like, yeah, Herman Cain's died. And, she said he died of COVID. And Dad's like, no, he didn't. He died of complications from COVID. And he died of complications. And I went, from COVID. He said, yeah, but it wasn't COVID. I said, the complications were caused by COVID. He said, yeah. And I said, so he wouldn't have had the complications if he hadn't had COVID. Yeah. So then he died from COVID.
No, he died of complications.
From COVID! Like, I actually wanted to beat my face against the wall.
This is why.
And this wasn't a case of he was just, like, intentionally being obtuse.
No, he was...
Yeah, he was actually being sincere. I know whenever he's just being a jackass, this was not... He was being completely sincere.
This is the 5% of his life where he's serious.
Yeah, this is like a brief moment in time where he's actually serious. He genuinely was like, no, he didn't die of COVID. I'm like, oh my fucking god. And I tried to, and like, I'm just like, okay, listen. If I go out hiking, and while I'm out hiking, a fucking bear mauls the fucking shit out of me. Okay?
Okay, grizzly man.
Yeah, basically a grizzly man situation happens. But I make it to the hospital, right? So I make it to the hospital, but I am bleeding like Grizzly Man, okay? Like, there is
Okay.
blood everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for the sake of the argument, let's say that I am also diabetic.
Okay.
Like a type 1 diabetic, I cannot produce insulin.
Okay.
So, meaning that I need insulin in order for my blood to work properly, in order for my body to work, or else it's all going to shut down and then I'm going to die, right? So, I'm in the hospital, bleeding, and they have to give me a blood transfusion to keep me alive.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not aware that I'm diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get the blood transfusion, but there's not enough insulin, and I die.
Yeah.
What just killed me?
The bear?
The fucking bear killed me! Because I wouldn't have been in the hospital. The people are like, well, technically it was your diabetes. But I wouldn't have been in the hospital if not for the fucking bear. So therefore, the bear is what killed me. They're going to mark that down as death by a big fucking bear.
Yeah.
That is going to be on the official report, death by a big fucking bear.
I mean, if I were a mortician, I'd put it down.
Yeah, it's just like death, literally death by big fucking bear. And he was just like, well, actually, you died of or like whatever hurricanes. Yeah, you're right, Russell. It's the same with hurricanes. Like, people that died after Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, they were in hospitals, no electricity, and, you know, mudslides and all that shit. They all died from the hurricane.
So, people in Texas died from the snow.
Yes! People in Texas died from the fucking snow! Because there was a lot of snow, and as a result of all of that snow, which Texas was not prepared for, the power went out and people froze. People died from the fucking snow. That's why whenever then people be like, oh, well, they're inflating the COVID. No, they're dying of COVID! If it's a complication that's brought about as a result of having COVID, you died of fucking COVID!
Yeah, you blamed the cause that precipitated the actual death.
Yeah. I'm getting really, but
Like,
it's just like,
if someone
like, I'm just so
didn't-
sick of people. I'm so sick of people saying, "Oh, well, hospitals are saying it's COVID so that they get more funds." It's like, no, the hospital will get the funding regardless. The hospital will get funding regardless of what the cause is, okay? Because we're in a goddamn pandemic and hospitals need support. Whether or not the hospital gets support, at least last year, whether or not the hospital got support did not depend on how many COVID patients they had. It depended on whether or not they were in a state where the governor had appropriately kissed up to Trump. That's what it relied on. It had nothing to do with how many COVID deaths there were.
Bird is so red right now.
I'm just very, like... And people are just being like, oh, well, they inflated... No, they fucking didn't! Like, they really did. It was just... No, they died from complications from COVID. Therefore, they died of COVID.
Me?
Like gasoline?
Serious? No. Thought you'd never ask.
God, he really is Danny Sexbang.
Yep.
Ah, just up ahead. So I'm supposed to fight on the beach.
That is one of the conditions. Why?
There's
That's
little
for you to
beach
figure out.
things around like it's the fucking
I was
Battle
about to
of
say, are we
Normandy.
at D-Day? Are we
Yeah, I
on
know.
Normandy?
Do you have, Travis?
You want to find out?
Huh?
Go any higher and I will kill you myself. Not until you become number 1. We have a deal, remember? So hurry up and go get him.
Yes, Your Highness.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. Kind of had to unleash the beast a little bit.
This is what happens when Grandma's not here.
Yeah.
Wow, we are literally in Normandy.
Pretty much, yeah.
When do the loot boxes drop? Yeah, remember that?
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
I think it was a Call of Duty game where they had a level in Normandy on D-Day where you act as one of the soldiers, but they included randomized loot box drops onto the beach that you were storming. Cause fuck you, I guess.
I mean, if you think about it, like if you took some ammo off of your dead friend, then technically, like you had, like technically you would have had a loot box too. You know?
Hey, there's gunshots. Heard there's gunshots.
I know.
But you're walking into the gun.
Well, you know.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You know how I am.
About to say, I see a design flaw on this beach. Walks around.
You would think, but you would be wrong. So, any other disasters, like quick ones that you want to rank out?
Let me think.
Hey, so let's all talk about how Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is definitely not happening.
I don't even know what the fuck that's all.
So Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is basically the only reason why I know about it is because it's like Minx's favorite game of all time. Like it's really hard to get her to not talk about it. It's kind of like me with Winona.
I was about to say, it's you with Winona.
Honestly, yeah. Not lying. Honestly, yeah. She really, really loves Bloodlines.
Okay.
So they were gonna make a sequel, and she was like excited as fuck about it.
The floor was mopped. How much she was gushing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She was really excited. But now so they delayed it it was gonna come out last year, and then they delayed it because, you know, COVID.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, to be fair. Crap, I'm stuck in this. So, you know, we were gonna do it, but never mind, COVID. And so it kept on getting delayed, and now it's reached a point where they've fired the original people who were working on it, and now it's being developed by a totally different studio.
Well, it's gonna suck.
Well, like, it's just, there's no information whatsoever on what's going on.
It's gonna suck.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be pretty bad. If it even comes out. I'm not even certain if it's even gonna see the light of day at this point.
So it's gonna suck.
Probably. Yeah, pretty good likelihood it's gonna suck.
Well, the game I'm waiting on that's been delayed due to COVID, hopefully it'll be good.
What were you waiting on?
Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. All 9 movies in Lego form, plus bonus missions. I want it so badly.
I can tell.
I want it so badly. I have had it pre-ordered for over a year, whenever they announced it.
Wow, you pre-ordered it?
Yes!
Huh.
I've only pre-ordered one other game in my life, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
In case you were wondering, that game was Persona 5 Royal. Even though I already owned the original Persona 5, I was just like, no, I need it, I need it, I need it.
Technically, you just wanted it, though.
I needed it for my mental health. It's a business expenditure.
Oh, there's mines. Fun.
You're on the beach during D-Day, basically.
Yeah. This
I know you've played war games before.
Yeah, but like, you know, I didn't like them or anything.
I saw you playing them for hours.
I liked the original ones. I liked Call of Duty Finest Hour.
Baby girl, you gotta wait. You gotta kill enough enemies for the electricity to deactivate.
Okay, well, where are some more enemies for me to kill?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's right, answer me that one, baby girl.
That's not my job.
You played Wolfenstein.
Did you?
I played to a certain degree on Wolfenstein. What was the first remade Wolfenstein?
I think it was just Wolfenstein.
No, it was like the new. It was the one where you kill space Nazis on the moon.
I'm sorry.
Whenever BJ Blazkowicz first comes back.
Who the fuck is BJ Blazkowicz?
He's the main character. Wolfenstein: The New Order, I think. I think it was Wolfenstein:
I thought the New Order was the one where his like daughters or something.
No, that's Youngblood. Or Young something. Which I actually would have liked a lot more. I would have bought that game if not for how grindy it looked whenever I watched Minx and Chrism play it. And so people just assumed that it was because I hated women. It's like, no, it's because it's very, like...
I just hate bad games.
Yeah, I just hate microtransactions and forced difficulty settings that make it so that I have to purchase the microtransactions in order to, you know...
Play a game?
Yeah, in order to level up with any semblance of, you know, speed. And they were just like, well, microtransactions are super important to keeping businesses running.
No, they're...
I was like, no, they're not. And if you need microtransactions to that degree to keep yourself afloat, you should not be in video games. I'm just gonna say it. You should not be in video games.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. We already established the mines. What the fuck? I guess it's in case you manage to get through without stepping on any of the mines.
If you're a smart player.
Yeah, they had to do it to, like, fuck with you.
One way of doing things.
Stop watching so many movies. People don't actually aim a gun sideways and shoot it, y'all. That's actually not a good idea.
That's
Guns
bad for
are
the gun.
guns are designed to be shot the way that they're shot. It is an intentional design, okay? It is not a bug, it is a feature. I know that the movies make it look cool, but don't actually do that.
You gotta ruin your gun.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a gun.
Yeah.
There's somebody shooting that gun.
Okay, well, in my defense, I wasn't trying to, like, run directly into that. I was just kind of caught in it, and I couldn't move.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you like 100%?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, yeah. See? Did you see me just dodge those bullets?
Sure.
I dodged those bullets. It was awesome. What do you want to do for supper, by the way?
I don't know.
By the way, tomorrow, everyone, Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 2. We begin what I have had people straight up tell me, like both in the public chat and also in DMs, they've been like, Bird, if you don't want to play this one, you don't have to. And I was like, wow, okay. And then I've had other people who would be like, oh no, this is my favorite of the DMC series. Ashley, I can't remember if Ashley liked it or not, but she has played it.
How do you not remember everything about your girlfriend?
I guess I'm just a terrible girlfriend.
I mean, I could tell you that. Love you.
Love you too.
Get back here, you little bitch!
Yeah, stop running away! So yeah, Devil May Cry 2 will start tomorrow, by the way, y'all. Also, next week, we are still going to be doing What the Fuck Sunday, but immediately after that, I'm going to be playing Phasmophobia with Minx.
Ah.
And then, not tomorrow, but the next Monday, Minx and I will be doing 5 hours of Borderlands.
Jesus!
I'm really looking forward to it.
You better announce the goal.
Oh, right! So, we're also gonna start doing a goal, y'all.
It was my idea, but I hate my own idea.
Yeah, this was Kayla's idea. Why is it not? There we go. It's weird. Anyway, so, little idea from Kayla. We'll do we're gonna do a reward stream. We're gonna do a sub goal. I'll set up the sub counter for tomorrow's stream. We're going to do a sub goal where if we hit the goal, then we will play. Kayla and I are gonna play Subnautica, Below Zero, face cam on. I'm gonna play. Kayla's gonna watch. By the way, Kayla's terrified of the ocean.
I am so terrified of the ocean. And like, she's played Subnautica and she's been telling me some of the monsters in it, and I'm just like, fuck no, no, not today or any day safe. So, you know, whenever that happens, Bird's gonna actively hunt for things that she knows will freak me out.
Basically, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Trigger warning!
Yeah, I know, right?
What's happening?
I'm in Super Saiyan mode.
Well, you were.
I was, yeah. So yeah, that'll be our next
Sub goal.
sub goal. Yeah, I think we'll count the 10 gift subs that we got today. I think we're
Wait,
gonna count
wait,
that towards
but-
the sub goal. Ah, so it's
Why is the shadow sideways?
it's fine. What are you talking about? There's no glitches in this game.
Yeah, Suda 51's perfect.
Yeah, he's never made any games with any glitches whatsoever, right, Kayla? Right, Kayla? Right?
Don't
Hello?
touch me.
The secret beach is up ahead. Then
Is it like a
it's
nudist
ranking
beach?
Match time. Win, and you'll be number 6. Lose, and your new home will be in the flaming tombs of hell.
How much longer you want to go?
Everything okay?
Oh, we'll finish this
How's that
this
sharp
boss
pain
fight.
in your neck?
Okay.
Bladder in a bind? Have you trimmed your nose hair? When you're ready, step inside. You know, you've been quite cocky lately. Well, more than the usual
That's just
dose
me.
of
Yeah.
assertiveness. You think that being ranked 7th means you're hot shit, don't you?
Those subtitles are wrong. That's the incorrect usage of your.
Yeah.
You've gone from dumb to dumber. Watching your meteoric rise of stupidity is truly painful to observe. That careless attitude of yours will be your undoing. And with that, I am 500% certain you will die this time. But trust your force. And head
Use the
for
force,
the
Luke.
garden.
Alright then.
Use the force, Luke.
Use the force differently enough that we don't get sued for it.
Refer to it differently enough so that it's the best kind of distinct, which is legally distinct.
Yeah.
Just picking up all these wrestling moves that I'm barely even using.
I was about to say, how many have you used?
I mean, I use them. Oh, fucking hell. I meant to save.
I don't think you saved.
I don't think I did either. Accidentally X'd out of it. Sorry, y'all.
I get to hear this guitar riff so many times.
I mean, it's a pretty cool guitar riff, at least.
It is, but whenever you hear it so many times, it starts to lose its effectiveness. It's like whenever you say a word too many times, it becomes weird.
Yeah. What words sound the most weird to you whenever they're repeated multiple times?
Hair.
Hair. Okay, yeah, I hear it. I hear it. Okay, Kayla's walking out. That is the end. Kayla
Oh.
is done.
Nope.
Kayla's done. Don't you want to watch me beat up this chick on the beach?
That chick better be hot.
Probably will be. It's a Suda 51 game. The chicks are like contractually obligated to either
Well,
be
she
hot
better
or
be an
underage.
edgy kind of hot.
They're either hot or underage.
Surprisingly doing it for me.
Do you like fighting?
Yep.
Do you like killing?
Hi, Quiet.
Live for it.
Do you like fear?
Can't say. Never felt it.
That's
Do
pretty
you
good.
accept death?
Death. Never crossed my mind.
Death is the only truth. You are still a mere butt.
You wanna know the sad thing?
What?
That's not a good
She
thing
had to
to
pay
know.
for that prosthetic
Seeking
herself
meaning
because
in everything?
the army wouldn't cover it.
That's a bad habit among
She's trying to get help from the army, but the army was like, nah, fuck you.
Come closer and you will understand.
She had to pay out of pocket for it.
She was like, they were like, you didn't lose that
I'm ready.
leg in war, you lost it to complications from
Anytime.
war.
Just your ordinary assassin.
She couldn't afford any more clothes.
Disappointment.
Are you in the mood yet? Normal assassins don't shoot the shit like this.
What are you talking about? That's all
been your entire thing!
Okay, cool.
Let's see you get out of this predicament.
No
She literally just was like, big hole. I feel like a train now.
Well, that's the end of this game.
Well, that's the end. Thank you all for coming to the stream.
My sweet seven.
Oh, crap!
How is he surviving all of this?
Because he's certified one
Nice
self-insert.
trap. I like
Makes
your
sense.
style. Maybe I can steal a kiss before I steal your life.
We'll see about that.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, listen, lady.
This is fucking hilarious.
Alright, I've had enough of your shit, lady.
Is that considered sexual assault?
No, it's fine.
I feel bad fighting against a woman who only has one leg.
I feel like I would be insulting her more if I did not fight her.
You know what? That's true.
Like, I would be implying that she needed to be treated differently from everyone else.
You know what? You are right. I fucked up.
Okay, bullshit!
Let's just...
She shot a bunch of rockets at me. Don't worry about it. It's called the... She shot a whole bunch of rockets at me without me knowing they were coming. It's called it's called the America move.
Okay.
Stop it! Come back here.
She's killing you with the power of agriculture.
Kind of, yes. Ow, 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 ow.
There are rockets there. You might not want to touch them. Go on, Bird. She's a lady with a shovel. You can kill her.
I don't know, man. I'm still kind of traumatized from holes, you know? Actually, real quick, I think I'm gonna heal up.
You know, whenever I search in YouTube for, well, there's your problem, the first thing that pops up after I put in the word well is, well, that's too damn bad, the scene from Holes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, has that traumatized everyone else as much as it's traumatized me?
What, the scene or the movie?
Yes.
I mean, it's a good movie.
It is such a good movie.
If you've never seen Holes, that's one of the few times. You know how they always say, "Oh, they can never make a good book adaptation. It's just impossible." I'm always like, "Motherfucker, Holes."
Yeah, that is like one of the best literary adaptations I've ever seen. And I literally went to college to like point out whenever that shit's wrong or right.
I thought you were strong.
Miss me.
Where'd you shoot the rockets from?
From her ass. Pretty obvious they came from her ass.
Come on, Bird, kill the war veteran.
I'm trying. I almost said I'm trying to kill the war veteran. Whoa, missed me.
I need to forward a clip of this fight to our brother.
Yeah, it's like, so is this what it was like?
Was this war?
War is hell, man. Got her.
Good job.
You gonna let this one live too, Travis? man.
mercy. You can't kill a woman. Pathetic. If you can't
Yeah.
kill a woman, you are less than a thug. You will never make it to the top. That's okay. I seem to have a thing for stupid, pathetic men like you.
See,
I
it
can
is certified
accept
one
it
self-insert.
comes from your hand. I will let you in on a secret. Assassins must die when they lose. Open your eyes and never look back. Promise, never forget me.
You're kind of hard to forget.
Thank you. The moment you hesitated, I felt your embrace.
We literally, oh my god, Certified 1.
Hold up.
Academics like to fantasize too, you know.
Academics like to fantasize too. What the fuck are you talking about? Academics are like the freakiest motherfuckers ever.
Yeah. Look at us.
Yeah.
Forgive me, number 6. I never meant to shame you.
Grab booby.
I
He literally
that's
like
what
has
it
his
was
hand
in there.
right on her boobie.
Victories at Travis. But a win is a win. That's all that matters. I hate to award you this, but you are now 6th in rank.
How's that body still standing?
What was her name?
Don't worry about it.
That is not important anymore.
You're right. But I owe her at least that.
Dude, the first guy you killed was talking about how he spent his last day with his daughter and how he loved her so much, and you didn't give a fuck about that. Now all of a sudden, because there's a woman in front of you, now it's like, no, now I have a conscience. Like, really, dude? Oh, rank S. Look at me.
Yay! Oh. Okay.
Guess I'm gonna bury her.
I mean, that's fair. You gotta be in this on the star.
Oh. That's weird. Feels like I should just be able to... Oh, go collect your prize. Okay.
Alrighty.
Obtain the U.S. military secret. Please give to Dr. Naomi. Who the fuck's Dr. Naomi?
What's a U.S. military secret? Go for that oil?
We killed JFK.
I mean, that's not a secret.
That's a joke, by the way,
Joke,
Twitch.
joke,
We don't
joke.
actually, like, that is legitimately a conspiracy theory. It has no basis in reality.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Holly. I was late in saying this, but I love your soul.
You just met her. What the fuck? He doesn't give a fuck about any of the others because they all got dicks, but now we're getting to the women. All of a sudden, I've got a conscience.
I mean, okay, Berg. You're saying that like you have never let your dick speak for you.
I have, but I am not an assassin.
You've taken down plenty of women. Hey,
I mean, slaying that pussy's a little different. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. Okay, so... Yeah. Alright, killed another one.
Yeah.
Sort of. Let her kill herself because, you know...
Suicide is
So if she's like, oh, an assassin must die after they've been defeated, does that mean that schoolgirl is dead?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that bitch is dead.
Yeah. I want to make sure we were all clear on that.
Hey, this is Diane from Beefhead Videos. You're late returning one of our videos.
Again.
Called, Coffee and MILF.
Ah!
Please return it ASAP. Have a nice day.
Mr. Touchdown, please wire the money as soon as possible.
Don't tell me
Please
what to
hurry,
do.
or something unfortunate may happen. In addition, the registration for the 6th UAA rank is complete. We look forward to hearing from you.
You know what sounds good right now?
What?
A nap.
$350,000. Okay. Alright, y'all. I think this is a good place to end it for today.
Yep.
I hope that you all enjoyed. Stick around. We're gonna raid. We're gonna raid Minx.
Always raid Minx.
Because she's live right now, so we're gonna raid her. Thank you all for coming out. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be starting Devil May Cry 2, which should be fun. And next week, Kayla will be back with some more horrific incidences to tell us all about.
Yeah, guys, if you're part of the Discord, put it in the chatty chatness of what you want me to talk about.
Let's see. What should our raid message be? Trust, in Hose We Trust.
In Hose We Trust!
In Hose We Trust is the raid message, so I'll give you all a minute to kind of type that out and copy that onto your clipboards. In Hose We Trust.
Yeah.
Alright, so next week, same time, we'll do more What the Fuck Sunday with me and Kayla. Kayla talking about engineering disasters, and then after that, I will be doing Phasmophobia with Minx and KG and Dax. I believe this is going to be joining us, so that should be fun. Alright, well, thank you all very much for coming out. Do appreciate it. Remember, our raid message is In Hose We Trust.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye!
Bye!